those newspaper. To the front page of the Informer newspaper, majority minority draw daggers over BOG, hold Yoko's political masters accountable according to the CDD, and Asante Achem North cries for MP. That's trim. World Bank slams Ghana, describes energy recovery as unsatisfactory. Today, Doc has a lot of things to respond to me. How long can he be absent from Parliament dealing with the court case? And when are we calling the by-election? Doc, you will help me with all of these issues this morning. The Business and Financial Times is there together with that of the Class FM online portal. You can go there and read and familiarize yourself with these stories. The Class FM is reporting almost all of these stories and some stories on parliaments, showbiz, sports, entertainment, and more. Yesterday I saw Obapa Christie here. Okay, so I think she's coming out with something new. Lizzie is one of her backing vocalists.
Hey, Kwame.
So,
Doc, have you heard Lizzie sing before?
yes.
Charlie.
Yes.
Doc, I tell you, she's in the wrong profession. Doc, have you heard her sing before?
I'm told she sings at church and all that.
She's in the wrong profession. Lizzie ministered.
Kwame, let's move
She
on.
still
Let
has
me
it.
say this.
Kwame, let's
She still
move
has
Lizzie
on.
it.
ministered here one morning.
She has not found herself.
Now I was seeing Gumi. For a moment, I was asking myself, why are you here? Like, why are you here? You should be ministering at. Kyoji, what is the name of that place in London? No? O2. You should be ministering at O2 place.
Kwame, how many of your artists have been there? Kwame.
But you are more powerful than them.
Please. Let me enjoy my work.
We are getting a producer for you. We are getting a producer and then Kyoji will manage you. Don't worry. You'll be scammer. Liz, what do you have?
So Kwame, let's start with TUC. Yesterday, the Parliament passed the tribunal bill. So I think before that, TUC proposed a return of the tribunal demand cessation of the legislative process. So the Trade Union Congress has opposed the reintroduction of the public tribunal system in the country. It has therefore called on government to halt the current legislative process in Parliament intended to enact the tribunal's bill. The interest, Mr. Ansas has said, had followed keen interest in the debate in both Parliament and the media over the tribunal's bill and has equally examined the bill and consulted widely with various stakeholders on the matter of regional and district tribunals. In the TUC's memorandum to the Constitution Review Committee, he said that and I quote him, we note in paragraph 14 as follows, that regional tribunals, Article 19, 2, Clause B, 1, 4, 2 are no longer relevant. TUC recommends that the entire article and the other consequential references to regional tribunals must be expunged from the Constitution. TUC General Secretary explained that it is its final report to government that the Constitution Review Committee recommend that the regional tribunals be disseminated and this establishment from the Constitution. He also said that in its considered view of the committee, the High Court has been handling the caseload of the regional tribunals. It's recommended that in the face of these clear recommendations by both TUC and CRC, it is baffling to us that the government is attempting to activate the tribunals. So in January 2025, the government commenced the constitutional reform process by establishing the Constitution Review Committee chaired by Professor Kwesi Prempeh. In December 2025, the committee submitted its final report to government, and TUC in various meetings and submission to government expressed full support for the government's effort to review the 1992 Constitution. So it boxed both the 1992 Constitution review and that of the tribunals. They also held a press conference yesterday on the same issue.
Okay.
But I think late into the evening, Parliament passed the bill into law.
Doc, you were there yesterday?
Yes.
Okay. What exactly happened?
Oh, I mean, the account is clear. I mean, they went through. So basically, you have to go through the third reading and do.
You've done one already.
Yeah.
Two already.
Yeah.
Accra.
Okay.
So after everything was said and done, they did some few amendments, and then the bill was passed. So they now have to, the constitutional and whatever committee would now have to make sure that all the amendments as was proposed will now come into the document, and then it will be sent to the president for him to assent into law.
Those who were opposing it, what was their beef?
I think there was this clause 4 that they were very. I have not taken pains to look at it because maybe in the coming days we'll assess it. But there was this clause 4 they were very uncomfortable with. That was the crux of the hard stance that some of them took, and so. I mean, in the coming days, we'll look at it and we may have to get some of these legal luminaries to explain to us why they think some members of parliament had issue with that particular clause and what individual open-minded legalese or legal brains would want to explain to us what that would mean if it is still maintained in that document. So in the coming days, I'm sure that all of these things will play out for us to appreciate why and what is in that clause 4. But I think that is really the same thing about getting that we have too many of such things to get people into the right shape and be able to deal with some of these excesses that.
What are the tribunals going to do?
Kwame, the same thing as the judicial is just an aspect or an umbrella under the judicial system. Would also sit on matters. Simple language, sit on matters of interest. Make sure, but this one, it's just that it's where you speak
to fast track them. Yeah.
Yes, that is why there are certain provisions that have been made under the tribunal bill. There are certain cases that would ordinarily go to them, just so that there's a fast track of it.
Who decides on which case goes where?
Well, of course, the Chief Justice would assign judges to sit on and then determine which cases.
So that one will be faster.
And this one, yes. So that this one, the law has stipulated which of the offences should go to them. Okay, so clearly.
So the clause 4. Sorry. So the clause 4. They are calling for the deletion of the clause 4. Is the section that is setting up for the regional and district structures. So that is what the minority are opposing against, and they are also saying that it will bring back dark days where some lawyers were affected by this the tribunal that was then enforced, that was taken out of.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Because they mentioned that
I've heard a lot of stories.
From
the past.
In the past, the tribunal, when there's a sentence or there's a ruling, you can't appeal. So I'm sure that is also one of the things that they are opposing. In fact, that is one of the things they are opposing, because they say that I think after a ruling you should have rights to appeal.
Was it the same issue you spoke to lawyer Jimega on yesterday?
No.
Okay, all right.
So of course, after a ruling you should have the rights to appeal, but in those days you cannot appeal once the ruling is done.
So what is this now?
Come again.
What is this now? What is it in the bill?
In the
now?
new one.
In the new one.
When you go before that tribunal.
I don't know what the whole content of the clause 4 spells out. I'm sure that, like Doc said, maybe subsequently the committee in charge would have to spell out what
is the document public.
What's the difference? Okay. What's the difference between the old one and the new one? Whether or not that section is going to be taken out of the new one. So it's a whole lot. But I would love to see fast tracking of cases, because we've heard the Chief Justice and even the former Chief Justice talked about backlogs of cases at the courts, whether the High Court or even those at the district level. And so if the tribunals mainly will largely will help in fast tracking cases,
yes,
that I think is
so I think they mentioned specific cases like the mining, this galamsey related cases, fraud,
Yeah.
and then some other one that they are looking at. Kwame, it will help. I mean,
So, so in the clause 4.1 creates a two-tier system consisting of the regional tribunals and the district tribunals, while clause 4.2 affirms the institutional independence of these bodies. So that is what the minority are firmly they're demanding, that the complete deletion of that, because they argue that legalizing this decentralized layers creates an unnecessary and highly confusing alternative to Ghana's existing constitutional court. So some comparison from the old one, that was then PNDC tribunal, that was 1980s, the military era, to the new one that is passed, that was yesterday, 2026. Established, the first one was established by the military decree, and this one is by the Article 126 and Article 142 of the 1992 Constitution. So the first one, when we are comparing judicial independence during the military era, strictly controlled by the military executives and could not be dismissed at whim. So with this one, clause 4.2 legally guarantees their independence from the executives. So the relationship between the main courts, during the 90s, ran as a complete separate aggressive parallel track with zero accountability to traditional courts. With this one integrated into the national judicial system, collaborating under the Supreme Court guidance.
So yeah.
Okay, so it goes on and on and on and on.
So I mean,
I'm reading the
legal
same
brains,
stuff
the legal
here.
brains would have to break it down to the ordinary Ghanaian, what it means at the regional and the district level in terms of the tribunals.
Because at a very high level, we have the Supreme Court, we have the Appeals Court, we have the magistrates, we have those ones are normally in the regions, those high courts,
districts,
smaller courts, and all of that. What I maybe if we engage one of these guys in the space, I see that judgment in these cases will be within a 42-day period. That's one of the things I'm reading here. I'm asking myself.
That is a proposal even during the Chief Justice, when he was a nominee, when he was going through the vetting. That was one thing that he proposed, that some of the rulings should come, or judgments should come within 42 hours. In fact, a question that was asked, that can we have that done? They says that it is possible to have judgments within 42 hours, depending on the magnitude of the case.
So I see environmental, I see civil, commercial, or criminal. I don't know the processes you'd have to go through to arrive at the case in 42 days. But if the tribunals are supposed to make it work faster, any particular reason why at this point the courts cannot do those same things the tribunals are doing, Doc? Because it's the same judges that are going to be allocated these same cases, the same judges we have in the space. So if they have,
so this one comes with the rules.
Them,
it comes with its rules. So they have something they call rules of court. So for example, you see the presidential elections. The 20, which one did Nanado go to court? 2012. Realize that the matter dragged
for 9 months,
for 8 months or 9 months or so. Subsequently, when President Mahama went to the Supreme Court for election petition, at the time they had given specific rules that presidential elections should not go beyond 42 days or so. There were specific days. So it is the court system. How you want it to work is what you would want to amend certain areas of operations or so.
Can we decide that as a country going forward, instead of setting up, I know it's been done, but instead of setting up the tribunal, whatever cases that were brought to the courts, we will try to deal with it in a certain number of days?
Yes, but Kwame, it will be difficult. There are certain cases. There are certain cases, especially when a person says, "Oh, he's not guilty. Please, not guilty." Matter. You have to prove, especially it's a criminal case. You don't just go and do just any other thing, and throw the person into jail or acquit and discharge the person. No, there should be a lot of work and effort from both the prosecutors and the defense counsels for the parties.
So that one will take some time.
Yes, it takes time. It will take time. There's been, in this country, there are cases which are over 40 years in court.
The lawyer cries dead.
Lawyer who defense defendant in Kurewu, sometimes plaintiff Kurewu.
No, the prosecutors.
Yeah, so it cannot be the case, but there can be provisions like this. 42 days. Good.
Is there a possibility that the case could go beyond 42? Is there that possibility?
No. Because it is by law. It is in the statutes that within 42 days the matter should have been brought to an end. They would work within those. So if you come and do any gymnastics, this kind of delays, Faham, Uraha, and all those things, the judge will put it to you. By the 42nd day, he will give his ruling. If you want to you move to the next stage to seek for.
Outside the tribunal system?
I am sure.
Okay. All right.
I'm sure.
I don't have any case at the moment.
So that is
when I get a case that would end up there, I don't have any plans of going there either.
Yeah, so the most important thing is that I mean there's fairness, there's justice, and there's that openness for everybody to be able to be excited about proceedings and be sure that he or she was not shortchanged when he or she went before the tribunal.
Okay,
that should be it.
That's fair. It looks like there are a lot of legal related stuff on the front pages today. I see that of the TikToker in here
that matter.
Well,
that matter.
Lizzie is a TikTok star. I'm sure she has read that story 2,000 times since yesterday to ensure that she doesn't go and put anything on the platform.
It's serious.
It's
serious.
But
immediately the judge asked that they go and test her for pregnancy, and I'm saying no. Chances are that she may not. she may be sentenced, and especially when she pleaded guilty to all the charges. I mean, if you plead guilty to charges, it makes the matter very simple for the judge.
Okay.
Makes the matter.
Because the video was out there. Me, I watched that video. I don't know if it's still there, but I watched it when she
it's still
released
around.
the video. Yeah.
Yesterday I saw people
and she
share.
said a lot of things.
Yes. Kwame, it's a lesson to those TikTokers who say,
not just
Lizzie and her people. Lizzie and her people. It's a serious lessons for them. Yesterday, there's another one, brutal lady B. She's also been all over the place. Yesterday, when this lady was convicted and sentenced, she also came back to the same social media place and now was recounting some of the things she had said earlier and apologizing.
But why would you sit on social media, say things you don't have evidence to? See, social media is free. You buy your own data. When you set the camera, nobody will stop you from doing whatever you want to do. But why would you accuse people, lie against, even let's put politicians or public figures aside. You sit in your house in the little corner that you are in, set camera on your face and say things that you don't even have evidence to. And because maybe in the past those things are said and nobody has done anything to you, you just continue doing it.
Doc, help me appreciate this. This has to do with what she said in the video, correct?
Yeah.
She said something she couldn't prove, I guess.
That President Mahama
buried some cows and all of that.
Cows.
Help me, if it's about what she has said, and I've seen the video, she said some really terrible stuff. People have said things in this country before. So is it a case of, okay, so who took this lady to court over this issue? The police. The police took the lady to court.
Do you have a problem with the lady convicted?
No.
Or you think that people have also said certain things that they should have been in jail?
So that's why I wanted to.
Did you hear what the judge said?
With me, but we will get there.
So first of all,
could you let me ask my question, and then you tie that in with your answer.
We should be excited. I am excited.
I am excited myself.
Fantastic. So that's the establishment I want you to make.
So if I can ask my question,
it wouldn't sound as if we want to.
Yeah.
I mean, say that people have said things, so we could have easily shielded.
No, I wanted clarity.
But of course, people have said
who took her to court, because is it a case of, for example, if Lizzie says something against me, and let's say me, I'm not bothered, So the case will not end up in court. But if she says something against you and you take it like a walk up and you take it to court, then she would face the consequences.
Yes.
That's why I started by saying that people have said things in this country, Is it that those people did not bother to take the issues to court? That's why nothing happened to those people.
Yeah.
So that was like the premise I was going.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, so first of all, I'm excited about people are making money, real impact, positive impact on social media, TikTok and others.
Please mention Lizzie's name. She's making impact.
Oh yeah, she gets some $10. But you see, people, I agree, people have said equally and way barbaric things about people that by now we should also see them jailed by the court. It's just unfortunate that people who are not politically affiliated are being dealt with, whilst people who are politically affiliated are being left. I mean, ajar that these are powerful, influential people. But no, what the elders did and were left, that's what the juniors are also doing and are being convicted. People, elders in politics have said things bad about people, but the court sat aloof and didn't do anything about it, or people didn't take them on for the courts to also deal with them. And so the young people also feel that I can also equally do that. If the courts will be firm enough to deal with politicians who say bad things about their opponents' political parties, some of these things, the TikTokers, the Lizzie and her colleagues in the TikTok and other social media platforms will not emulate what is happening on social media. In the heat up to campaign and elections, look at the things they've been saying. In a run up to internal elections, and this is MPP is about to elect their national executive. You hear things going on. I'm sure you've heard what people have even said about Paul Afoko. Yes, it is coming up. Who will take these people on? Will the courts be firm enough to deal with these people? That is also another matter.
If the person in question doesn't take
and that's what I want Doc to clarify for me. So, for example, Doc, I sit here, I say what I want, or not even here, like, because most of these TikTokers, they are doing it from their houses or somewhere. They've been able to buy a microphone and they can say what they want. They have a nice phone which can record a nice video. So if I say what I want and nobody takes me on, my family ready. Is that what it means?
No,
somebody needs to take me on.
If the police, if it is brought to their attention
by who?
But they have monitors, they have people that cyber security and all. If somebody brings to their attention and they look at it and think that if they put the Act 30 and Act 29 side by side, and they can press some charges against you based on the statutes, the Act 30 and then the criminal code of this country, and they can come for you from their own. The police
should not sit and wait for people need to tag them. They should be up and doing. So
they should be on TikTok monitoring.
But don't they have units don't they have departments and units under their
They do.
Good.
They
So
do.
if you say they don't they have failed. Wait. Because there's a unit under the Ghana Police Service who are supposed to be monitoring all the social media platforms to see that there is sanity. Collaborate with the Cyber Security Authority and ensure that nobody misbehaves on social media.
Is that realistic?
But
it should be.
Yeah, I mean, it cannot be realistic because
Lizzie drops 20 videos a day.
I mean,
they're about maybe 10 million. I don't know. Let's say
you're going to sift through all these people.
So then what is the essence of that?
Is that realistic?
What is the essence of that unit that's supposed to deal with those things?
Yes, so they have examined. They think that it is not. It is weightless.
It cannot stand any test in court. So what is your problem? Now
so
what is your problem?
Somebody insulted somebody, and the police, upon viewing VAR, they viewed it and they said that this thing cannot stand what?
It cannot. It's bogus.
Once clearly we know that these are allegations leveled against somebody.
Yeah.
Weren't you here?
So when the police establishes that, we are done.
So I think the difference here is that when you level an allegation against maybe Lizzie here, because this borders on defamation. It has nothing to do with maybe the criminal aspect of it, except you want to pursue, an aspect of it that is criminal. And when you look at what the judge looked into to declare the sentence, the judge even threw away some parts that were a bit criminal. Now, it borders on defamation. With defamation, I am the one to raise the question. If you defame me, I'm the one to go to court and say you have defamed me. The question here has nothing to do with the punishment meted out to the lady. But with defamation, now the issue is, if people defame people, and now it is being criminalized to the extent that someone can be sentenced to prison, then we are probably heading towards a very dangerous, place. Because I would have loved, what the lady did, by all standards, is very bad. The things she said and all that. But even with the 32 cows, she was quoting a pastor who said it first on camera. They had gone to demolish some things, and the pastor said, I sacrificed 32 cows with Sedun Ketia and all these things. The pastor made his allegations.
So the lady quoted the pastor.
So the lady quoted the pastor, and the pastor is still walking about. And this is captured on video as well. So that's why I'm saying that if it had been, for me, if it had been a fine, maybe a huge amount, or imprisonment, so that if you are not able to meet the fine, then you go to jail. But sentencing the person right away to prison, that it serves as a deterrent, then we are probably, we should be watching out for these things. Because you see, like he said, prior to the 2024 elections, not TikTokers made these allegations. Ministers said things. We were here and people were accusing people of having some diseases that they don't have proof to.
That's why I asked Doc whether nothing happened because those people did not pursue the matter.
Because it's defamation. If you defame me, it has nothing to do with the Republic. And the publishing false news, it says that it should cause fear and panic for it to actually merit that tag that it is a criminal thing. So we should ask ourselves, did what the lady say cause fear and panic in the society? Because it must have that element of
that.
That is the other thing, but it must have that element of causing fear and panic for it to pass as something criminal, for you to even sentence the person to prison.
Okay, this is one of the things that we're going to be discussing on the show this morning. So we'll look at other things, but we'll discuss, all of these later and get the legal experts to help us appreciate, these things even better.
If you permit me, I can read something that our president, His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama wrote on his Facebook on 11th February 2022 regarding these same things.
Okay.
And he said, President Kufuor, you cannot, I'm just quoting portions, you cannot continue to oppress the people, criminalize speech when these matters are essentially civil in nature, if you feel offended by them. That's what the president said and wrote there. And he said, this is a dangerous blueprint, the same thing I'm saying now. You are fashioning for our dear nation, and it must not be encouraged. So let me leave it there.
And this was in line with what issue,
the
what
same
case?
Things, this was in line with some journalists who had made some wild allegations, and I think President Akufo-Addo, well, it wasn't the president, but the police went to pick these journalists up. I'm talking about Captain Smart, and others.
Gubi,
yeah. So whether the statement they made were true or false, they had made wild allegations. It has nothing to do with the police. If the president feels offended, the president can pursue a defamation case against them. But he rather chose to let the police deal with these people. And the president then, His Excellency, who was in the opposition then, said it was a dangerous blueprint that we were fashioning for the nation. So if I don't
so
have...
you are worried about it happening now under his watch?
I'm worried about, because now, let me ask, what are you really going to say or not say for you to think that, okay, you are going to end up in prison?
There are rules of engagement with everything.
Yes.
There are some things that when you say, you know that this one...
If I insult you right now, does it merit going to jail for it?
If I feel offended, why not?
If you feel offended, that's what I'm saying. If you feel offended, you pursue it. But does it merit the police coming to pick me up from my house and say that I've insulted
because
maybe
I went to
Kwame?
report it.
No, so Kwame should report it.
Okay, so if I don't report it, you
Then-
are saying that
then
the
I-
police cannot.
Yeah,
come
you
in.
cannot come in because you didn't report
We'll
nothing.
speak to the lawyers. We'll speak to the lawyers, and we'll take this on. We'll take this on. This is not the end of this conversation. It's just that we're just reviewing the stories in the newspapers for now, and then when we get to after 8, we'll get into all of these issues. But let's any other stories quickly.
Yes,
and
so
then we'll move
the
on.
Education Ministry urges police to arrest, prosecute Bole Senior High School teacher. So the Ministry of Education has urged the Ghana Police Service to, as a matter of urgency, locate and arrest the interdicted Bole Senior High School teacher who remains at large weeks after a nationwide search was announced. It was said that the ministry was deeply concerned that the suspect was yet to be arrested despite seriousness of his misconduct and the public interest at stake. The statement said that the ministry was determined to see the erring teacher urgently arrested because available information indicated that contrary to what he claimed in the recent interview, his unprofessional conduct was deliberate. So the ministry reiterated its concern about the cases of indiscipline among teachers, heads and students across the educational institution in the country. Those incidents, it is said, undermines teaching and learning, weakens public confidence in schools, and threaten efforts to build safe and disciplined learning environment. It reiterated that discipline remains a cornerstone of quality education and that there must be clear consequences for actions that violate established rules and ethical standards. The statement said that the Ministry of Education will soon convene a national dialogue on tackling growing indiscipline in our schools. The dialogue will also bring together key stakeholders to deliberate on practical and sustainable measures to addressing discipline in the educational institution. So, Kwame, I think this has to do with the video that was circulating of the teacher and the students having an affair in the science lab. But the video in question, but I thought that video was fake.
No. Why would you think it's fake?
No.
Not the sexual video.
Not the sexual video.
There was a-
The guy, yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Explaining
think
whatever
the
happened.
statement is referencing the video of a guy coming out to sit and apologize that he didn't mean it. So I think they should actually investigate and do their findings well to find out if that is actually the guy before they go and pick up a wrong person.
Kwame, there's an interesting article here. Says that months after launch, has the Fugu Wednesday campaign lost momentum? That's a beautiful one. So there's a poll. So there's a question. Months after the call for Fugu Wednesday, do you think the initiative is still relevant? So those who said not sure are 42%. Those who said yes are 33%, and no is 25%. So months after its launch, questions are emerging over whether the Fugu Wednesday campaign is losing momentum, with traders saying the initiative has created awareness but has not delivered the expected boost in sales. The campaign, introduced by the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts, encourages Ghanaians to wear their traditional Fugu smoke every Wednesday as part of effort to promote cultural identity and support for local producers. It was launched following a social media debate over President Mahama's decision to wear a traditional Fugu during a state visit to Zambia, after some online users in the country described the outfits as blouse. The comment triggered widespread reaction from Ghanaians who defended the smoke's cultural significance and highlighted its importance as a symbol of Ghanaian heritage. However, some Fugu traders say the attention generated by the campaign has not translated into the level of commercial growth they anticipated. So that's it. Of course, I've not seen on Wednesdays. I don't see the MPs really wearing them.
The thing, it was just down. For me, it was just a social media something. I mean, it wasn't a deliberate thing. So, for example, this Wednesday I wore Fugu. I went to a number of. I didn't even see one person wearing it. One.
So it means that the momentum has gone down.
Kwame, do you know the price of?
It was just a social media,
Kwame, do you know the price of Fugu?
I know the quality determines the price. So if you go and buy it at, let's say, location A, the price is different. If you buy the proper one too from the north,
but that is between 500 and 700.
And you're wearing it every Wednesday. And
but
you can't be
but you can-
repeating one fugu
But
every
you can repeat it every
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
No.
You can wash it and wear
No.
the same fugu.
How would you
next
repeat it?
Wednesday.
One fugu. No.
Fugu cry is in the baby, sir. When you went to dry.
It's very heavy. So
Yeah.
that's the good ones. Very
Yeah,
heavy.
yeah.
Maybe you are sweating or something.
Look, I mean, those of us in the office, we are experts.
But it wouldn't be
But
only
you don't
those
expect me to be
those in
repeating
the
the
office.
same
Repeat it.
fugu
It's not-
But
every-
what about the
It's not
everyday Friday wear thing?
No, that one
one
is
is
that one is
half
you
price.
can
The
sew
fabric is
you can sew
relatively
different
easy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like relatively cheaper.
Yeah,
Is
and
that
then you can
argument?
just sew different cloths and all that. I mean, you just
so you
buy
can
the
buy
cloth
different
and all.
food.
That is the
No,
problem because that,
one fugu costs 500 between 500 and
that's
700.
somebody's pay.
Wait.
That's somebody's monthly pay.
The fugu, the President Muhammad or the ministry didn't say change it every Friday, every Wednesday.
Yeah.
They say fugu Wednesday. You can buy one and repeat it every Wednesday. It is not a fashion show we are doing.
You don't want to repeat.
Wear it and dry it. Don't go and wash it. Fugu, you see baby, who see a best. Wear it and dry it.
No, simple.
Simple.
No,
Wednesday,
no,
repeat it.
no, but
Because we have only one fugu.
yeah,
I
but
don't intend to
it-
buy more because it is a fugu
But it
Wednesday.
depends on how you are keeping it neat and all these things. Because everyone knows the fugu no.
I wear it and come to the office.
Song,
And it
obviously,
depends
one
on
month
the
no
kind of
see,
work you do.
and the kind of work
But
you
have seen
do.
a Kube seller wearing fugu before?
But if you say fugu Wednesday, don't you expect them to wear fugu?
He said everybody,
Every
everyone
citizen
should
wear
on
fugu.
Wednesday.
Every-
Hey.
So they must be wearing the fugu, and, except you want to, let's say, specify that okay, these people should be wearing it.
Yeah.
But if you say every Ghanaian fugu Wednesday, then
I mean,
every Ghanaian must wear
in
fugu.
the early days of that Zambia thing,
Yeah.
I saw people like but it looks like
Kwame.
a few days later.
No, I think if this will work, then the price of fugu should come down, so that people it should be affordable, not cheap.
But
So that
unfortunately,
people
in
can-
our
yeah.
country, it goes up
When
Yeah.
when,
when
yeah.
the craze for it and all
Yeah.
that.
Now
Just like Valentine and chocolate.
Now even the jerseys. When you go to Accra,
Yeah.
even when I was going home in the evening at Cycle, it's just on the they are,
But we are not playing. Why should I buy this?
you see,
Last
you see?
week,
It was demand for it. At that time, there was demand. So they were even selling quay
after Ghana
for
exited,
1,000.
the guy says that money 50 crore budget.
We'll be crossing for 30 budget.
But it was 150, 200. The
1,000.
Thousand.
The
No,
proper
not
one.
150,000.
the one we wear.
That one is 150. The proper one was 1,000.
1,500.
Yeah, 1,500 cities. But now the guy said money 50 crore budget. All right, so I agree with
One
him.
day low.
Yeah.
But
One day low,
unfortunately,
yeah.
in this country, the moment people have craze for a certain thing, they increase the price.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
demand now.
They're just
The jersey
Yeah.
we're talking
Yeah,
about.
demand now.
February, Valentine. 1st February, you see the chocolate, plenty in town, they'll be increasing it.
Yeah.
The chocolate, which is 5 cities or 10 cities, on Valentine Day, because the girls will demand from us
20 cities.
20 cities, and the girls will not stop demanding chocolate from
And
us.
then by 16th February, they will sell it for 2 cities.
Yes.
Yeah.
Easter
Why should
Sunday,
we
they
stop?
want resurrection chocolate.
Why should we stop? It's chocolate.
Anyway,
So I think that the local
I've seen a
producers-
few people wear it,
No,
but
I mean, the local producer
it looks like the thing
I think
didn't
the local
fly.
producer should just reduce it,
Yeah.
and people will buy it. But if I'm buying fugu at maybe 200 cities or 250, if it is quality, I mean, why not? I can buy like
but can
5.
you get a quality one for 250
No.
cities?
And
That's why he's saying that you should bring
the
it
local
down so
producers
that people
should
can,
just, bring it down.
so that we can all
that means
enjoy
that
the
they're going to be
the
producing
fugu
it
everywhere.
everywhere.
you go.
I can buy like 5.
I think maybe the
which
process
one is
in
the quality
making
one? Which one is the quality
process
one?
No,
in
the
making
quality one is very
Okay,
thick.
so for example,
the
I
numbness
wore
have the S.
I wore one
the
I wore one
Volturians
to
also have the
class
S.
about 3
But the
weeks
quality
ago.
ones are very
Look,
thick.
I was
It doesn't-
I
it doesn't
I
really
received
matter.
the whole lecture on it from one of my course mates who I think has some lineage with the Gonja chief or something, and he was even telling me about the colors and all of those things.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the long and short was that some should be selling for 20 cedis. Because it doesn't have this and then there's also another one that you see you can't even afford, the ones that the leads of
Yeah.
the leads or
Yeah.
where that's like in excess of 2,000 and all of that, because that one you'd make a specific request and they are going to do it with a certain kind of fabric with a certain kind of color and all of
Customized
that.
for you.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, so what we wear in Accra, I was like, oh, what we wear in Accra, there are a lot of them.
But even that, the producers just bring it down so that we
Yeah,
can buy.
I think
I
so.
mean, more so that we can be changing it.
Yeah.
So those of people like Lizzie who can wear, repeat the fugu, can buy maybe like 10 even like 200 cities for one. You can buy
That's
like
2,000.
2,000 cities. It's cool.
And then
Government,
every
government,
Wednesday
government,
should wear a different one.
government can even think of creating a factory or establishing a factory to go into fugu manufacturing.
If they revive Akusumo Texas Limited,
Yeah, you know, it's also there.
they can produce
They
that.
can do these things so that we
The
can
president
cheap on
was
the
at
market.
Japan yesterday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just he was talking about the is it textiles?
Yeah.
That
Japan
will be
Textiles.
importing Japan Textiles
Yeah.
Limited.
There were
Me.
questions on it in primary school exam.
I know, right?
Yeah, Gamo Texas, Akusumo Texas,
we
for
are
instance.
check.
If it is well revamped, I mean, governments can invest, reduce the price for people to buy it. Then the initiative continue.
Well, let's see. Me Wednesday, I've got out in my tomb because nobody was wearing it. I was the only one wearing the fugu and walking around everywhere. I was like,
But even
let's-
you, Kwame,
let's
today you
go.
are not in your African print.
Yeah.
Today I'm
Look
going-
at me.
You've
Look at me.
you've defied the rules.
Look at me.
No,
Look
today-
at
today
Lizzie.
I'm going to Google and say,
You're
Doc is also not
I
wearing.
said I should wear suit.
You don't see it here.
Ah, okay.
Kwame has a meeting. Kwame has meeting.
But regarding the fugu again, I think
Obama market.
even if Ghanaians, like the people who are not wearing it, our leaders, as they started wearing it and it was becoming fashionable and all that, should continue. As time goes on, people will hop on it. But if they themselves have stopped it, then
But the Friday wear thing, cry, is it still?
the Friday wear, I think it's embedded a little bit too. People are still
It
wearing,
depends
doing
on
it
where
too.
you work. Sometimes it also depends on
Yeah,
the organization.
I think to a large
and the
extent,
company
yeah.
you're working
If you're
for.
working in a certain kind of
Actually,
environment,
me,
you don't even think
I
about
wore
this.
this because I wanted to just wear something. I didn't think of Friday wear.
Oh, okay.
Yes, seriously. Yeah.
Okay. Let's move on. We'll be back to discuss legal issues. Doc will tell us what an insult is and why somebody should go to jail for what he or she says. Me, if you insult me, I may not be bothered like that. But if you go and insult somebody else over them. Anyway, we'll extend the conversations with our letter to His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama.
Did was wrong, irresponsible, and deserving of condemnation. In this era of social media, the deliberate spread of falsehoods has the potential to mislead the public, inflame passions, and undermine our democracy. No one should be encouraged to publish false information for political gain or public attention. However, Mr. President, many respected legal practitioners have argued that while her conduct was reprehensible, it did not warrant a custodial sentence. They believe there were other legal remedies available that would have served the ends of justice without depriving her of her liberty. Mr. President, Ghana has earned international respect as one of Africa's leading democracies where freedom of expression and the rule of law coexist. Developments such as this, whether justified or not, have the potential to create an unfortunate impression about our democratic credentials and may raise concerns among the international community about the state of civil liberties in our country. As President, we know you do not direct the courts and we respect the independence of the judiciary. Nonetheless, leadership also involves ensuring that justice is seen to be fair, measured, and proportionate. Where the law provides room for review or appeal, we hope the necessary processes will be allowed to take their full course so that the matter can be reconsidered in the broader interest of justice and Ghana's democratic image. Mr. President, protecting the truth is important, but so too is protecting the values that have made Ghana a beacon of democracy on the African continent. We must punish wrongdoing, but we must also ensure that our response strengthens rather than diminishes confidence in our democratic institutions. Thank you, Mr. President. Yours faithfully, Class FM.
That was our letter to His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama. Dr. Vanessa Appiah is also standing by to come our way with some health tips.
You're busy, you're working hard, you're showing up for everyone else. But when was the last time you checked in on yourself? Many people think stress is just part of life, and to some extent it is. But when stress becomes constant, your body doesn't just cope, it starts to carry the burden. Stress can affect your sleep, making it hard to rest even when you're tired. It can affect your mood, causing irritability, anxiety, or low energy. Your blood pressure, increasing your risk of long-term conditions. Even your immune system, making you more prone to illness. And sometimes the signs are subtle. You may feel constantly tired, easily overwhelmed, less patient with people, or just not quite like yourself. That is how burnout begins, not suddenly, but gradually. And often it affects the people who are doing the most, those who are responsible, committed, and always pushing through. But here's the truth. Your body keeps a record of everything you carry. And if you don't pause, eventually your body will force you to. So what can you do? Start by checking in with yourself honestly. Are you resting enough? Are you taking breaks during the day? Do you have space to reset, even briefly? Build small moments of recovery into your routine. Step outside for fresh air. Take short breaks between tasks. Prioritize sleep where you can. And talk to someone if you're feeling overwhelmed. These are not signs of weakness. They are part of maintaining your health. I'm Dr. Vanessa Rapier, CEO of the Accra London Health Centre in Leboni, reminding you that your well-being matters too.
A big thank you to Dr. Vanessa Pia for coming our way with this health tip. At some points, you deserve a rest. At some point. This is Class 91.3 FM, and thus is A Piece of My Mind, which is a segment of the show where I share my thoughts on a subject or more, and also give you an opportunity for you to share your thoughts as well. Remember, you can do this via multiple ways. The WhatsApp number remains the same, 0500,000 202, 0500,000 202. Alternatively, you can reach us on our socials, Class 913 on Facebook and Class 91.3 on X, or when the phone lines are activated, you can always give us a call. Take note of the calling number 0302 208080, 0302 208080. This morning, I want to start A Piece of My Mind with a story that has been trending here in Ghana the last 24 hours to do with one Kamila Al-Hassan. I saw the video about plus or minus 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I thought she said some very, 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 very strong things. And I remember when the video was shared on TikTok, and I saw that video on TikTok, I remember somebody wrote under that video, "Would you be able to prove what you have said?" Well, a few days later, this happened. An Accra Circuit Court has sentenced Ghanaian TikToker Kamila Al-Hassan to a 1 year in prison after she pleaded guilty to charges of publishing false news and engaging in offensive conduct. Her prosecution followed the circulation of videos on social media in which she made defamatory claims about President John Dramani Mahama. The videos prompted her arrest by the Ghana Police Service and subsequent prosecution. During an earlier hearing, the court ordered that a pregnancy test be conducted before proceeding with the case. Kamila Al-Hassan admitted to publishing videos in which she falsely alleged, without providing any evidence, that President Mahama buried 32 cows as part of rituals to secure victory in the 2024 general election. And the story goes on and on and on. The judges have spoken, so who am I? I mean, what I'm going to say here is not going to change anything. But one of the things that I know, for someone who has found myself in the media space for many years, I'm very familiar with libel and defamation. In fact, I teach it. And one of the things that I consistently tell my students is, if you're going to write something which will be libelous, if you're going to say something that will be slanderous, that will be defamatory, if you have court money, go ahead. If you have money to hire a lawyer, go ahead. But if you are like me, and you want to mind your business, and you don't want to be going back and forth, and you want to go and spend so much money on a lawyer, sit you somewhere. That thing that you want to write, that thing that you want to say, if you say it in your room and you don't record it, nothing will happen to you. If you have that conversation with that friend quietly in a corner somewhere, nothing will happen to you. But the moment you decide that you want to go public with it, be ready for the consequences. In the days where we had only radio, in the days where we had only TV, and we had a fair bit of newspapers, it was very rare to have people go on the tangent in which they are going today. You won't even get that opportunity to sit on radio and say those things that you are seeing today. As for TV, forget it. How many television stations did we even have? Newspapers, they were very careful of what they put in their papers. Of course, every now and then, somebody wrote something that was derogatory, somebody wrote something that was defamatory. The case would end up in court, and the court would proceed from there. Today, social media is a fantastic development. Look, social media has made money for people. Social media has given people opportunities. Social media has connected people. So it is a great platform. But it looks like, for whatever reason, people think that social media gives you the opportunity to just go and sit there and say what you want, especially when you do not have any evidence with respect to what you may be saying at that particular time. It is very easy to get a phone. It is very easy to go to Kantamantu, or it's very easy to go to UTC area and go and buy, a microphone and get a decent mobile phone, sit in the comfort of your room, get a very nice table, get a very nice chair, and say what you want in the name of wanting to trend and in the name of wanting to be very popular. But this is the thing, you can trend for the right reasons. Unfortunately, in this country, we tolerate a lot of nonsense. The other day, someone was telling me that if you do a very good video and you put it on any social media platform, go and check the number of views you would get. But if you see a lot of rubbish in this country, within minutes, you will get 1 million views, because in this country, we love a lot of rubbish. I disagreed with the person. I said, look, it is not always about the rubbish. But what I know about my understanding of that social media space, people are looking for a number of things that would get them to pay attention to your video. If you are providing a certain level of information, people are likely to pay attention. We live in a world where information is so key and is so important. So if you're providing information that makes a lot of sense, or information that is so needed, people will watch those videos. If you're providing a video that is inspirational, that says a thing or two, because we're human beings. Every now and then we get tired, we get worried, we have all kinds of mental issues. If you're saying something that is inspirational, people are likely to pay attention. These days, where people are very conscious of their health, look at the numbers of people who are doing health related videos on social media. 2 years ago, how many people knew Yabu Ejekum Francis? 2 years ago, 3 years ago, how many people knew him? But in the last 6 months, in the last 1 year, his videos are everywhere. Why? He's providing very important information to do with your health and to do with my health. And now that people are taking their health very, very seriously, people are paying attention. So it's not all the fooling. It's not all the nonsense that people throw away on social media that would get people to pay attention to your videos. Not at all. So the fact that you can afford a mobile phone, the fact that you can go to Kantamanto and buy a stick and use as your setup and say whatever you want, does not mean that you just throw these videos out and you wouldn't expect any consequences. It won't happen. For those of us who grew up in the generation of the 80s and before, we know what it means to be very responsible. I'm not saying the generation today are not responsible, but we know what it meant to be very responsible and say the right things. There's a very important reason why I love my friends from the Kwame Ridge. There's a very important reason why I love them. Because many years ago, I lived in the same vicinity with an Ikwapim family. And I always used to hear them saying, Me pachosi. Of course, I didn't understand. I wanted to know. I was like, me pacho no more kanesano. That was what I used to say. When I got closer as I aged, very respectful people, they want to start everything in a very respectful manner. And it was the same with a lot of tribes. You see an elderly woman carrying something, nobody would ask you to go and assist. You are talking to an elderly person, nobody would ask you to put your hand at your back. You want to speak to an elderly person, nobody would ask you to choose your words carefully. If elderly people were meeting and you are not invited, nobody would ask you to leave. This is how we were brought up, that generation, this is how we were brought up. And we're trained to be very careful about the things that we said. Of course, in those days, there was no social media. And I'm not saying that every child who came up during that era was brought up the way all of us were brought up. No, not at all. Those were different times. I get it. Today, that we claim that we have all of the education, we have all of those mind-boggling education. Yet, when we open our mouth, we spew a lot of rubbish in the name of freedom, in the name of free speech. Who told you that you can just open your mouth and say what you want? Who told you that? The fact that you have the platform doesn't mean that you can open your mouth and say what you want. There are consequences for everything. I don't know her. I feel sorry for her. She's going to be spending, I'm told that technically when you go to jail, 1 year is not 1 year like that. I think 1 year is about 9 months or so. Maybe Doc will help me. 9 months. Even 1 day in jail, and better. One. Because me, the last time I visited somebody at Insawa, I was like, hey, I'm not sure I can spend 1 minute here. And people have been there for years. I don't know where she's going to end up, but I'm sure she would end up in one of the prisons, wherever she would be taken to. She looks fairly young. I don't think she's 50. Probably not even 40, maybe. Maybe early 40s, maybe late 30s. She's in her 40s, thereabouts. I am sure she has a family. She has friends who love her, would love to see her every day. Now her mouth has landed there where she'll be going. It is very sad. I don't know her from anywhere, but anybody around her, family, friends, whoever. I mean, they would have been with this person all of this while. Now she's going. And she's going alone. She's not going with all of those people who are liking her videos and who are encouraging her to go on and go on and go on and go on. She's going alone. Maybe this should be a lesson to all of us, especially for those of you who have become social media warriors. That same social media platform can be used to do some very good things. People are making money out of that same platform. You always hear me calling my colleague Lizzie TikTok star. She does some amazing things on TikTok. And she's benefiting. Her numbers are rising every day. I'm sure it is serving her well. Because if you're putting in a lot of nonsense, I'm not sure I'll be seeing the kind of numbers I see on her platform every day. So some people are doing some very good things there. You too, what are you doing there? Every day you are there insulting people. Every day you are there insulting people. Because people would come and like. People will come and comment. People will share. If your way to glory is on a tangent like that, then it's unfortunate. Because people are doing good things that is leading them to glory. But if yours is to insult people and it would lead you to glory, it's over to you. It's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. But you see, in all of this, KOJ said something. And I'm tempted to go on that tangent as well. How have we gotten here? Because like I said, that generation of my age group and beyond, we were brought up in a way where we're very careful about what we said. But today, what do we see? The people who are leading us, a lot of them spew a lot of nonsense. Forgive my French. Why won't people be encouraged to also go on these tangents? In the case of this woman, I watched the video. But I also watched the video of a so-called pastor or whoever he is, telling the whole world exactly what this woman said. I didn't want to play the video and give it some prominence. That's why I have the sound, but I won't play it. A pastor was on video telling all of us how he buried 32 cows. And the woman probably also repeated what the pastor said. We have all kinds of people walking around carrying all kinds of titles, spewing a lot of rubbish. And because nothing happens to them, so they go ahead and do it. It's sad that maybe she has to suffer. But don't we see our politicians do worse? These jokers who are leading us, don't we see them do worse? Don't we see them do worse? And what has happened to any one of them? I'm not justifying the woman's actions. But the young are watching. They learn, they watch, they see. So if nothing is happening to them, why wouldn't they also be encouraged to go on these tangents? It's not a justification. Let me say that again. But these people who are leading us, don't they do worse? Me, I'm here. I've not gone anywhere. I've not been out of this country for more than 2 months before. At least after a certain stage. In my early life, yes. But after a certain stage, I've been here. Don't we see the videos every day? Don't we hear a lot of nonsense? A lot of wild comments, a lot of insults. One of our colleagues is like that. Let him put a video on a social media platform. He will get 2 billion views in a second. Lots of insults. Lots of defamatory stuff. But nothing happens to him. And because whatever he says is in alignment with a certain political party, everybody takes it normal. Everybody knows him. And many others who are on either side of the political divide, they are either on the left or they are on the right. They spew a lot of nonsense. But nothing happens. Nothing. Why won't ordinary people also take the law into their own hands and say what they want? Because if those people who are supposed to be charting or leading the path for you and me go on the tangent that they go, why won't ordinary people? Today, don't we see people who are even way younger than this woman spewing a lot of rubbish on social media? They'll tell you the platform is for them. They can say what they want in the name of free speech. But this is a lesson to all of us. Where does that freedom end? Where does it end? I'll be posing that question to my lawyers in the course of the conversation. But where does it end? Maybe this should be a lesson to all of us going forward. Because today is Friday, I want to tie in my second topic and I'll open the phone lines. Your Excellency, Mr. President, this one is directly at you. Because you are the boss. I can understand that you have a plan to start a whole new road that will take us to my home region of Kumasi and possibly even beyond with a new express highway. I get it. It is good. But until it is done, we are not going to be using it. Until it is done. What that means is that the existing one that we're told is at 60, 70, you can put whatever figure you want, depending on who you listen to. It doesn't mean that should be ignored. Yesterday, I saw a video of a very horrifying accident around the Yaokwe area, for those of you who know, between Jaso and Konongo. 12 people lost their lives. And that is the one that is even reported. There is no day where I am going to Kumasi where I don't see an accident on that road. To put this into context, Accra Kumasi is only 250 kilometers. You can do 250 kilometers in plus or minus 4 hours. But listen to this. Earlier this year, I was in another country. I moved a distance of Casablanca and Tonji in Morocco. It was 338 kilometers. I did it in 3 hours. You know why? It is a proper highway, not the joke we have here. Proper highway. 338 kilometers. We did it in 3 hours. Proper highway. At some point it is 2-2. At some point it is 3-3. At some point it is 4-4. Depending on the topography of the land and how they choose to construct the road at certain portions. Here, after all these years of independence, there are greater sections of that road that is I face you, you face me. And the I face you, you face me part is in very difficult areas where ideally you should be having 3-3 or 4-4. Between Yaokwe and Konongo. Or if you want to go all the way from in Nkoko, all the way to Konongo, it is I face you, you face me. And there are so many narrow sections of that road. And 69 years after our independence, the road that links the two biggest cities in Ghana, greater portions of that road is still I face you, you face me. So there are a lot of head-on collisions and thousands of people have lost their lives. Thousands. Your Excellency, you can start with the new expressway. I don't have a problem. But pay attention to the old one. Pay attention to the old one. Because we are still using it. The new one you are doing, we are not using it until it is done. But the old one, we are still using it. We are still using it. And people are dying. People are dying, Mr. President. The fact that we want to do a new one doesn't mean that we should ignore the old one. People are dying on that road. And there's nothing wrong with doing this one and doing the other one. And I'm not the one saying quite. There's nothing wrong with that. Can we start paying attention to that road? For those of you who live on the Accra stretch, anywhere from Amasaman to Dobro, you see how you suffer every day. Those of you who live beyond Nsawam, all the way to Nkoko, you see how you suffer. And those of you who move from Nkoko all the way to Kumasi, you see how you suffer. Why? And this is a road that links the two biggest regions in terms of numbers, in terms of commerce, in terms of business, in terms of everything. And yet, we can't seem to fix it. And people are just dying like chickens and fowls. People are just dying like that. People are just dying. When you travel abroad, in any decent country where they pay attention to their transport system, when you are going to board the bus, sometimes you even forget that there is something called prayer. If you're going to board a train, you even forget that there is something called prayer. You know why? Because the chances of you going and coming back safely is very, very high, 99.9%. In this country, when you want to board the bus that will take you to Kumasi, you have to start with a prayer and end with a prayer. And in the course of the journey, you have to be praying and praying and praying and praying. Because the possibility that you get to your destination in safe hands is like 20%. How? How? You sit in a bus, even before the mouth moves, the bus becomes like a worship center. So if you go to any of our transport terminals and you are boarding a bus to Kumasi, and every 2 minutes somebody is calling you. Where you are you safe? Are you safe? Are you safe? If you sit in a bus and you are driving from Hamburg to Leipzig or Hamburg to Dortmund, nobody is going to call you every 2 minutes and ask you if you are safe because the road is good. Why do we do this? Can't we pay attention to that road? Can't we? And to the drivers of cars on these roads too, you are not going to Kosomuskaya. Open your eyes. If you are sleeping, park your car. If you are tired, park. Don't go and kill people foolishly like that. They are breadwinners of their family. If you are tired, park. And to all those big trucks on that road who think that they own the road, you have to be very, very careful. If people do not tell you your peace of mind, you'll be just driving anyhow on that road and just killing people like that. Mr. President, I beseech you this morning. You are doing a expressway, whatever it is called. But pay attention to the existing one too, because we are still using it. The fact that we're doing a new one doesn't mean that we should ignore the old one. We are still using it. The old one, it is military people who are working on it, cutting through bushes. No commercial car is flying that route. So pay attention to this one. The phone lines are activated. Give me a call and share your thoughts with me. 0302208080. 0302208080. Alternatively, you can reach me on our socials, Class 913 on Facebook, and our WhatsApp 0500,202. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, good morning. Seth, go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Kwame, I see this morning your passion also come on the road matter because of accident that happened on Kumasi Road. Yes, Mr. Kwame, I just want to ask. You know, our institution refused to work. That is a problem. Because if you say the new road the Mahama say you want to build, it's just concerning about the new contract they are giving. But what about the highway? The highway which have mandatory every year they have a budget for developing this country. And then the money is apportioned into the account. What are they doing? And the contractors they give it to, what are their supervision? They are taking a great salary and things there, but nothing is going. When they say this thing, they all go and hide and be watching that one because it will take the domain. What are they doing? And then let me ask, the evaluation, monitoring and evaluation unit they have in the ministry, and then the chief executive officer of the highway is also controlling. What are they doing? My question is, what are they doing? Coming to Ajekojo, Mr. Kwame, I see our MCs and they are all sleeping because they are not opening for our support to come to help them develop the country, and they will get the glory, and we will be there. But they are not trying to come like that. Small time, we will descend on them. Thank you.
Thank you very much. 0302208080. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Brother Kwame.
Yes, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Yeah, my name is Yima, calling from Amomole.
Yima, go ahead.
Thank you very much. You need all the applause. You said it all. Yes, my brother, this government is giving us a new expressway. But what we are using currently, we cannot overlook it. Because that is where the chunk of vehicles, my brother, look at these heavy-duty vehicles and these saloon cars. And let me use my own. Let me use my own experience. Just this very March, this year, this March, 10th March, I was in a company with my siblings traveling to Ashanti region. Just right after the Nkoko double road, my brother, only God, someone riding on a motorbike just came out from the bush. God being so good. He just hit the fender, the side of. I was in front together with my younger brother. He was driving our vehicle. If the guy had been in front of our vehicle, if my brother, just because he said he couldn't see ahead of him because there was a long trailer being parked ahead of him. So for Kumasi, this Kumasi road is an eyesore. Like we are losing lives day in, day out. We beg authorities. They should do something about this road because, when you are traveling, my brother, your heart, I even don't know how to express it. Oh, praying that God should take you safely to your destination. And then my last point, Sam George, the directives about this Ghana card, when you are transacting business with the banks, Why has he left the telcos out? Because they also take our Ghana card from you. Do whatever pleases them, then they hand it over to you. So, Sam George, please, the telcos, you should have highlighted that one first before even bank.
Okay, I appreciate your call, Emmanuel. 0302208080. Hello, good morning.
A friend, a brother from the same constituency. Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well, Eben. Yourself?
Oh, not bad at all. Not bad at all.
Go ahead.
You see, because of our poor leadership, you see how Africans or Ghanaians as a whole, how we disturb God. The latest in our prayer. Meanwhile, we need to call on leadership to do the needful. Anaba Goja, the radar is on you. God bless you and the president for the express road. But we think you need to do your possible best for us to get more better roads. Because we can't what? Be praying each and every time calling on God when we are going on a journey. You see, we are highly abusing the name of God. Because it is not God that has to come and give us proper road. Is that not it? It is the leadership. That is why we pay tax. So please, do as much as the people can to give us what? Good mutual road, so that when we sit in cars, we will not call eradicate, yes way. No, we are abusing the name of God.
Eben, I appreciate you calling. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Kwame.
Good morning, Hajia. Salam alaikum.
Alaikum salam, my brother. How are you?
I'm doing well. Hajia, go ahead.
Thank you. Wherever my brother, my boss, Alhaji Seidu Agongo is, I give him a very good Friday greetings. May Allah continue to uplift and bless him for me. My brother, about our roads, I'm appealing to the authorities to come to Medina and see. There is a road at Welfare to Estate. That road there is not nice at all. And then recently I went to pass there. If you see the kind of shoddy work that they did on that road there, some gongi thing, gongi. You are driving on it self, you don't feel like they've patched these things. It's gongi. Instead of asphalt, they do it some gongi things, some sapiti gongi. If your car is on it, you don't feel comfortable. So the municipal chief executives, they should be doing good roads in our urban areas. Please, we are begging them. Then, my brother, about our culture and manners, I think it is high time we start teaching culture, proper culture and manners in our schools. My brother, as you are saying, when we were growing, you can't be sitting down and looking at an elderly person walking, carrying something. Even if it is water, you would like to go and take the water from the head of that old person. But today, you carry your thing from where else to your house. Nobody will mind you. Nobody. Just because people came to this, I don't know, it got to a time, people were saying that if you take things for people, there are some witches, some are wizards, they will give you something, and there's a witchcraft in it, they can poison you, they can do what? That thing pollutes people's mind. So today, no more respect for the elderly. Then finally, the way we talk, if this arrest of people who talk anyhow will continue in this country, me and you, who is listening to me, who are following NDC MPP, tomorrow we will buy our 5 cedi credits and come and sit on social media just to denigrate and insult people's fathers, people who have earned good names in this country. You won't insult them anymore. So all of us should take a very good caution on what is happening today. Don't think that because my party is in power, tomorrow you might not be in power. Watch your tongue and watch what you say. Me, I don't do politics and go and insult somebody's father and go and sleep in prison and leave my children at home. I love my life. I love my children. I love my family.
Okay, Hajia, I appreciate you calling. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Paul. How are we?
I'm good, and you?
We are hustling every day.
I mean, this morning you guys were having a conversation concerning the lady that was jailed.
Mm-hmm.
And I think somebody was also saying that then, so long as this one was jailed, then let that be. I mean, that is not the position of the law. It is every case as in front of any judge and how the judge looks at the situation. So, for the mere fact that one judge will sentence somebody for the speech, doesn't mean that another judge will also sentence. So another judge might also choose to find the person. So let us always look at it from case by case, and not that because somebody has gone to say something, then it should be the standard. That is not how the law wants to be. But again, the lady herself, I think that she being incarcerated or she being sentenced to prison jail would be good for her herself. She should go and reflect and see whether or not if it is worth it for her to come and say all this and to go and sleep in prison jail on behalf of a political party. She should think straight. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much. 0302208080. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Kwame.
Yes, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Antina from Dansoma.
Antina, go ahead.
Yeah, Kwame. The woman, it deserves it. Because, hello?
I'm here, Antina.
How can you come to on air and spoke against the president? Very bad attitude. We are in a country that should be disciplined among us. Now the children are coming. They are so wise, computer children. And so they also learn. My grandfather was assistant director of prison. So I school at Insawan. We know what is good and what is so. I know the law. It should go and serve. Nobody, don't let anybody confuse that we should discuss about this. You should do. Look at how you insulted the president. It's not good. Now, my second point is also the road is true. That is why last I said, I like whoever do good things. I like because I'm a difficult woman. I'm a very, very difficult woman. So look at Slaga. The road is not good. The market is incomplete. So please appeal to the president for us. Thank you, Bra Kwame.
Thank you. She says she's very difficult. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Mr. Kwame. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
This is Nicholas calling from Hacho.
Nick, go ahead.
Okay. I think the road agencies who are responsible for maintenance of our roads, i.e. the highways, the feeder roads, and then urban roads, if they are sleeping, they should wake up. Because most of the roads are in the deteriorating state. I drive on the roads every day, and some of them are an eyesore. So they should wake up. They should stop giving the road minister a headache, and they should do the work that they are assigned to do. Thank you.
Very much. Thanks for calling. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Bra Kwame.
Yes, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
This is Osman.
Osman, go ahead.
Bra Kwame, the woman, she deserves it. You have the opportunity to watch all the 3 videos that she did. For me, my problem is not about the burning of 32 cows. The other things that he said about the president, even I don't think he said so to his father or his dad. Accusing the president of defilement or so kind of nonsense. She deserves it. I wish.
Easy.
Seriously, Bra Kwame. I grown up like you. How can you take sentence?
Okay, Osman, thank you very much. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Kwame.
Babs, go ahead.
The law is the law because defamation of a person's character is a crime. Is it not so, Kwame? But I haven't heard her voicemail. You should have played for us to see, for us to hear it, Kwame.
Some of the words were too strong. That's why I didn't play it.
No, you have to play. It's not your word. It's her word. So just play it for us to hear it. You see? Because me, I have not heard it. The one I heard it was during the flood. A particular woman was saying in 2015 or 2016 what happened in Circle, and then now Mama has come again. Look at what is happening. That's the one I heard. You see, so sometimes I beg you, Kwame, just play it. It's not your word. It's her word or any other person's word. Play it for us to hear. Kwame, You say you went to Morocco, right?
Mm.
You see that express road in Morocco? If it is done here, we shall have double accidents.
Why?
Double. Because, Kwame, we have so negligent drivers. We drive speed. Some people just drive speed. They just enjoy the speed. I don't know why. Why is it that, Kwame, when it is December and then we start campaigning on road safety, we have less accidents? You imagine, every year when we are campaigning for road safety, December or the Kwau, when we start campaigning, the accidents will be less. Haven't you realized that?
That's an interesting one. We'll pick a few more calls and a wrap up this conversation. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, boss.
Yes, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
What's the name of the benefit of being Ghanaian?
Oh, bros. Good morning.
My brother. Morning.
I hope all is well.
Oh, God is good,
We thank God. Go ahead.
What I want to complain about is our road from like within the city. Our road is not good. Especially I'll pinpoint some places, especially when they come from Kaswa, this was Malam, the Malam Junction, the bus stop. Then from the bus stop, when you come to Odoko, getting to Odoko to when you pass the outer lane, that place you have to return before you get back to your destination. And this one to Dansuma Junction is west. So I don't know that the town planning. I don't know who is taking in charge of or taking care of all those things. There are a lot of junctions here. There are a lot of roads here within Accra here that are west than season to say from Accra to Kumasi. And what you said today, I'm very, very happy because our roads are not good. If we have good roads, who will be praying God? Who will be abusing the name of God? Are you getting my point? So we have a lot of work to do.
Okay, I appreciate you. 0302208080. Hello, good morning. Oh, I lost you there. Today is Friday. That's why I'm taking a bit more calls. But you can call us 0302208080, 0302208080. Give me a call and share those very passionate thoughts with us. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, bro.
Yes, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
This is your friend, Ike Lord.
Hey, Chief, it's been a while. I hope all is well.
Yeah, I'm doing well.
Great. Go ahead.
Doing well. The woman, you deserve it more than deserve. You know, nowadays, when it comes to the youth, especially the MPP youth, when you insult and do those kind of things, then they will applaud you. Look at what our former vice president is doing. Fancy comedy, the same thing. Some the same thing. So he deserves it. This is example. If you are NDC or NPP, go and do it again. You go inside 3 years and you.
Okay, Claude, I appreciate you. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Kwame. Please,
Eddie,
Mr.
go
Kwame,
ahead.
Please, I think Accra Kumasi Road, the fatalities are too much. I think there's a demon on the road. Please, Ghanaians, we need to come out and pray over it. Please, the road has taken a lot of lives. Please, when I saw the video yesterday, most of the departed rest in perfect peace. As that's to that.
I appreciate you, Eddie. Thank you very much. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Brother Kwame. How are you?
I'm doing well. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
My name is Richard, calling from Niboy.
Richard, go ahead.
Yes. Kwame, you said it all this morning. You see, our express routes, Charlie, too bad. Now, when you're even traveling to Kumasi or even somewhere to somewhere, you get yourself thinking, you know, asking a lot of questions. And then that will take you like 5 minutes, 3 minutes. It will take you like the whole day, you know. And then I want to ask this question. I've heard that when you want to do, maybe you want to make your front, your road very nice, you have to go through the feeder road, something. They will ask you to give them the money to do it. How is it true? You know, because they will do that and they will not even do it well. They want to add zeros to it. Meanwhile, you want to do your own road very well. and lives are going like that, like Sabi and Coco or Kramai. And we are the ministers are in town. They use the same road, and when they are coming, they'll be blowing some and you expect me to give you the chance. Me from can't go to another thing. No way.
I hear you. That's an interesting one.
Kwame,
Hello, good morning.
good morning, my brother.
Papa, go ahead.
Charlie, I cherish you a lot, my brother.
Thank you.
The good work that you are doing for Ghana. On the political side, and then what do you call it, the sports side. When I see you at that hosting a sports program, I say, wow, Kwame, the blood will be flowing like that. The Achimota blood. Anyway, we are so happy that the tribunal system is in place. You are aware of that one?
Yes, I do.
Good. Then the next one to the jailing of Kabila, is it Alassane, right? It will promote some sanity in the way that majority of us, communicate on air. And that would equally pave way for us to really see how both, politicians in either in NDC or MPP or CPP, who are the best for us come every election. You see, it is not proper for us to be here telling lies against each other. Let's bring out the issues. Let's criticize certain things that aren't correct, but let's, take note that this is truthfulness, and we'll go by it. I don't need to talk much. I salute you, my brother.
I salute you too. Thank you very much. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Brother Kwame.
Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Odro, calling from Pokwasi.
Odro, go ahead.
Brother Kwame. In fact, MPP, since the inception of this First Republic, they are our major cause. Our woes, what we are experiencing now, they are the main cause of our woes as I speak to you now. MPP doesn't deserve democracy. Brother Kwame, they didn't take part when this our Fourth Republic democracy was drafted. Since they won, Brother Kwame, just analyze something, or let's analyze something from the top down to their base. Abusive words, defamatory commentary. Look at what Wontumi and the likes said about this our current government vice president. NPP doesn't. They don't. We have to mobilize all of them and then hand them over to a tyrant and a military dictator rather. Massa, look at the kind of democracy we are enjoying. You can express your views if you don't agree with someone or any issue. But to the extent of, insulting the president, even threatening his life. See, Brother Kwame, what I want this parent government to do, they should do everything possible, the Constitutional Review Committee, so that we can amend this committee, this constitution, so that this kind of insult, defamatory, this kind of unpleasant commentary and all that insult, we should place it in our constitution so that anyone who comes out with such comments can be jailed instant. MPP, why? And you see their hierarchies. Giving them thumbs up, praising them. What is that?
Okay, let me take a final caller and wrap this up. Hello, good morning. Dave, go ahead.
Yeah, Kwame, you say freedom of speech. People don't understand it very well. It seems to me like this freedom of speech. Some people that know, something that that somebody stole government property or do something wrong against the country. Feel free to speak. But not be saying you're free to speak right or insult. Oh, even your grandfather don't accept that. You see, that's why the dead chief, the girl will tell me that if you do wrong, they send you, they punish you. But now our country laws be like me, my power. You see, the critics will not accept that this democratic means if you vote finish, no more campaign, no more MPP. I mean, we saw we are. The reason people, because service increasing. Some party come now, say, do you vote for? If you alone be the party owner, then not you alone vote for the party, you see. So let's check that one. Everybody will find the law. You see, not be NPP law or NDC law, Ghana law. You see, they are doing that. They are doing that. Yeah.
Okay, Dave. I appreciate you calling. Thank you very much. And that's going to be our last caller. But you can reach us on our WhatsApp platform 0500,202 0500,202. Give us a call and share your thoughts with us. I'm going to be reading your messages very shortly, but I've got our parliamentary correspondent Zita Okwan join me in the studio as I will discuss what's been happening in Parliament in the last few days, especially concerning the passage of the tribunal bills. We understand that has been done in the last 24 hours, although some groups appear not to be happy with its passing. Zita, good morning, and thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Kwame.
What's been happening? Help us understand what this bill is all about.
A lot has been happening, and Kwame, the introduction of the tribunals bill, what it seeks to do is to reintroduce the public tribunals as part of efforts to strengthen the administration of justice and improve access to courts. And then it will also establish a reformed tribunal system to operate alongside the traditional courts, with the constitutional backing. That's if it is being passed. And then oversight mechanisms and safeguard for due process and human rights. Also, the bill seeks to operationalize or operation Article 126 of the 1992 Constitution, which provides for tribunals within Ghana judicial system, but has largely remained dormant over the years. You know, this particular discussion has not been in the system for a very long time. And this year we had the Attorney General introducing the bill earlier this year, and that discussion started some few weeks ago, and then yesterday we saw an interesting thing in Parliament. The bill was passed, and we've heard the minority being against the introduction of the bill, saying that Clause 4 of the bill, which they are asking for it to be deleted entirely from the bill. We've seen the minority leader saying that no, it's not something that can be done, and for that he's called for the entire deletion of that particular clause, which is Clause 4 of the bill.
Warning. What does that say? What does the Clause 4 say?
Well, he is warning that the creation of district and regional tribunals would establish a parallel justice system and undermine Ghana's existing judicial architecture. He also argued that while Articles 125 and 126 of the Constitution recognize the possibility of establishing tribunals, they do not compel Parliament to create them. Rather, he says that it should be deleted from the bill. So, contributing to the debates on the floor in Parliament yesterday, the minority leader, Fenyo Makin, argued that the House to delete Clause 4 in its entirety, arguing that there was no justification for creating additional judicial structures when the country's existing courts remained functional. So he thinks that we already have a judicial system that should operate, and that there's no need for this creation of these new courts that the bill seeks to do. But yesterday, Kwame, before the passage of the bill, which the minority had made a fuss about or made a lot of noise about, the House was on suspension. And it was very interesting that people that we had not seen in Parliament at the beginning of the year were in Parliament for the first time. Yes.
So when you listen,
maybe they were asked to come and vote.
Exactly the point.
No,
exactly
from beginning of the year.
Oh yes, there are some members of parliament who have not. Have you seen the foreign affairs minister in parliament?
Okay, so what I know is that if you absent yourself for about 15 days,
maybe they show up at committee
without
but in the
yes,
plenary.
definitely, and you know some of them would also sneak in and then just sign the register and
then sneak out.
Then they go back. If you call them, and I tell you what, if you whip them in to come and say maybe participate in a vote, that's why you see them all coming from their offices from the job 600 block. So maybe
there's something to vote
within
on.
the precincts of parliament they were there.
That's a job of what the majority chief whip.
Yes.
There have been several bills that have been on the floor where the minority have alleged that have argued that the majority do not have the numbers to be able to pass that bill or seek to do business in the house. And we've seen that even for us as media personnel, you can see clearly that they are empty seats. But yesterday, what happened, Kwame? It was interesting. The finance minister has been in the house several times, one to answer 2-3 questions, and then he's out or moves out to do other business. You've seen Honorable Sam George going 1-2 because he has to do, most of them who are ministers and are MPs at the same time. But yesterday, the foreign affairs minister was in the house when the tribunals bill was passed. And this is the argument that the minority leader made, that when the house was on suspension, and usually they suspend for like some 5 minutes or 10 minutes, but yesterday the house was suspended for more than 3 hours. And that's what the minority leader, after they walked out from the floor, came to address the press and mentioned that whilst the house was on suspension, he feels that was a time when the majority had to mobilize members to come into the house, because earlier, before all the debates, the majority leader, Mahama Yariga, had made some statement that they are going to see to it that the bill is being passed as of yesterday, and by close of day he will make sure that the bill was being passed. If the minority leader Afenyomakin intends to go back and forth with him, he has been a student leader before in Nooks, and they'll go back and forth. He is ready for everything, because even at the time of being a Nooks leader, these things have happened. They see to it that midnight, when members are asleep or executives are torn out, they go ahead to pass the bill anyways. So he says he was ready, and when they walked out, he mentioned that clearly they don't want to be a part of this passage of the bill, because he sees that it's not the right thing to do.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna put that in the system for you to have that. But then that's what he mentioned. There was a head vote also on the floor yesterday about that particular bill, and when the head count was done, the minority had about 16 members in the floor, and then the majority had about 134, including the speaker himself, not the Speaker Albert Blackburn, but then the first Deputy Speaker Bernard Ahiampong.
Who was presiding over proceedings?
He was. So he also,
he's allowed to vote.
Yeah, he's per he was allowed
yes,
to
definitely,
vote.
yes.
So he voted, but there was a little of some correction when he was also voting.
Because I thought that has been clarified under Joe Oseusu.
Yeah,
remember there was an issue.
He mentioned yesterday, and he also voted, but there was a slip in his vote. Instead of voting no, he voted yes. But then he clarified after minority.
Where no means what and yes means what.
Yesterday, with the vote that was done, it's not the usual vote.
Voice vote.
Voice vote.
It was a head count.
For this one, as of yesterday, was that it was for the side of the minority.
Okay.
And then the no was, so those are saying no, we should go ahead, was for the majority side. So that's where he clarified. He made a slip and said that he's voting yes. Then the minority was excited about it, and then he clarified and said that no,
I can imagine.
he's voting no.
Yeah.
So the total number for the majority members was 135.
100 plus, okay.
Yeah.
Then minority was 16?
16.
I see.
I mean, interesting developments there.
I mean, for me, the conclusion of all of this, and I'm just going to be reading a portion that I came across when I was trying to get an understanding of this, that the proposed law, now it's been passed, will establish a two-tier structure comprising regional and district tribunals, which will form part of the judiciary under the supervision of the Judicial Council and the proposed tribunal oversight. Under the bill, regional tribunals will have competent original jurisdiction with the High Court over selected criminal matters, including economic crimes, narcotic offences, tax-related offences, custom violations, and cases involving loss of state funds or property. The district tribunals would also have concurrent jurisdiction with circuit courts in specified criminal matters, excluding offences such as treason, capital offences, and cases triable on indictment. The bill, however, excludes constitutional interpretation under Article 130, human rights violations, and any matters expressly excluded by law. It also outlines guiding principles for tribunal operations, including fairness, transparency, efficiency, independence, and respect for fundamental human rights. And it goes on and on and on. Okay, so now it's been passed. So we'll take it from there. Yeah, it's been passed. So we'll take it from there. We'll be bringing to you the comments made by the minority leader very, 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 very shortly. But I would love to hear from you. The WhatsApp number remains the same on these matters: 0500,000 202, 0500,000 202. Before we discuss the issues to do with Madame Camilla, on this particular issue. So let me take some of your messages. Okay, we've got the sound now. So let's have a listen to the minority leader on this.
Our contention as minority is that this bill seeks to create a parallel system, an analogous system, unbeknown to the Constitution, if we read all provisions of the Constitution as a whole. It is true that mention is made tribunal system in our Constitution, but context must be interpreted within the broader scope of Articles 125, 126, and 127. We have a judicial system. District court, circuit court, high court, court of appeal, and the Supreme Court. If there are issues with the system, the way to go is to reform and to resource, equip, and retool. It is not to create a parallel system with coordinate jurisdiction. Now, if you look critically at the clause 4, which was the subject matter of this long debate, basically, you look at a new court system, a new, I don't want to call it a court system, a new adjudicatory body where you say one person presiding as a chair must be a lawyer, but the other two must be non-lawyers. And they are going to preside on criminal matters. We reminded Dr. Ayeni himself, the Attorney General, that when he was in practice as a private practitioner, and he dealt with this case of Tagore and Issa Abbas, the Republic versus Tagore and Issa Abbas, he argued forcefully that a judge sitting in a criminal trial must ensure that prosecution lead evidence of probative value proves all essential ingredients of the offense. That was his argument at the Court of Appeal, which was upheld. That to deliver justice is not about throwaway or media headline script. It's not about how the public perception about an individual is, because that can be misleading. Now, what we see in this whole exercise is to create a system where people would be pronounced guilty even before their case is properly determined. No established procedure of ensuring fairness. And it is not only the minority that is complaining. Today, organized labor has come out loudly to re-echo its position on this matter. That we don't need a tribunal system in our country anymore. Tribunal system, we know what happened in the PNDC era, where people were targeted, assets were seized, and those people who claimed they were tribunal members and rid themselves. We know that record of the NDC, their predecessor, PNDC. So we, the minority, have left the chamber because the majority leader decided to shut the door. In Parliament, we believe that in all situations of disagreement, there must be a window to discuss, to raise the concerns. But once the majority leader makes a strong pronouncement that whatever the case, they will not listen, they will use their numbers to pass the bill, then there is no point again. Every other effort will be rendered odious. Every other effort by us will be rendered nugatory. You recall that earlier in the day, when we raised this issue, the majority leader, realizing that he didn't have the numbers, immediately called for suspension of the House. So he used the 5 hours to marshal his members into the chamber. Even so, those present were not even up to 150. They were 113. We, the minority, counted. They were not up to. Yet, those who counted claim that the NDC members were more than that. You are the media. You can get in and do your own check to validate what we are saying. We tell you truth.
So that was the minority leader in Parliament there, the Honourable Dwomoh-Agyemang, on these matters. Okay, Ziza, what more do we need to know?
Well, the bill has been passed, Kwame, and we'll just have to wait for the president to assent to the bill, and then it will be...
And that will be when? Do we know?
For now, the clerk will have to transmit it to the...
the last time a letter like that was sent, it was brought back.
Hey, Kwame, I don't want to talk about it.
No, I'm just trying to... That's the same process.
Yeah, the same process, just like the...
And it's the same Jetro.
Yes.
The last time you took a letter there was brought back.
Oh, but Kwame, we've had other bills that have gone to the president and his assent.
Yes. That one, nothing happened.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll just wait for the clerk to do that, and then we'll hear from the presidency saying that the president has assent to the bill, and then the bill is finally in operation.
Okay. Well, yeah.
If there is any,
we'll follow those issues.
If there is any issue against the bill, of course, people have the will. I mean, are at liberty to submit a petition.
But now it's been passed.
It's been passed, but it's not been assented to by the president. So 14, yes. So the 14-day period still holds. So if there are any
discuss it with his legal team.
Yes, just as the anti-LGBTQ bill, was done. And so if anybody has anything as regards the bill, of course, a petition could be brought forward. And if the president so deems it, important for the petition to be looked into, of course, it will be looked into, and then the right processes would be adhered to, And then if it has to be brought back to the House for review, there's also certainly that route, to go. So at this point in time, it's been passed by the House. Safe to say that indeed it's a law, partially a law. Once it's assented to by the president, it means that it's a full law and there's nothing really anybody can do about it. But I'm seeing that it will definitely be assented to by the president, because the object of the bill, one of the objectives of the bill, is to ensure that the backlog of cases that we have at the various courts, the traditional courts, are actually dealt with expeditiously. And so, Kwame, if they are establishing district, regional courts and what have you, I think that is in line with that. The fear of the minority, which we've said here on this platform, is that there's going to be excesses with regards to what the tribunal system used to be during the PNDC era.
Wait, you're still live on Class 91.3 FM.
Good morning, good morning. Here's
messages on the issues that we've looked at so far. I'm going to quickly read them, and then we'll get into our topics for today very shortly as well. Laxla says, good morning, greetings. I'm trying to buy data, but checking on the networks is too expensive. Do they think about consumers' rights in this country? You say this is wrong. Laxtra. Okay, that's your name. This one says, good morning, Kwame. So stats for road accident as of January to April by road safety is that 4,899 people died with 5,591 injuries for just 2026 alone. And I'm sure a lot of them are on the Accra Kumasi road. Mystic Wonder says, Charlie. Basa Kofi, come and check this computer. This one is coming from Mystic Wonder inside in Sawam Adwajiri. You say, good morning to you, Mr. Host. Free speech comes with responsibility. So those who think the more they insult, the more heroic they become, they should be very careful. The more you attack people verbally and physically, the more popular you may become somewhere. Okay, all right. Kwame, I thank all the callers, but the roots issues, if you don't have a strong representation in parliament, forget it, nothing would happen. Okay, Davisena says the recent conviction of Kamila Al-Hassan has generated a widespread public discussion about the offenses the offense of offensive conduct to breaches of the peace and responsible use of social media. You see, Section 207 of the Criminal Offences Act 1960 at 29 creates the offense of offensive conduct conducive to breaches of the peace. Although the section classifies the offense as a misdemeanor, it does not prescribe a specific punishment. In such instances, Section 2964 of the Criminal and Other Offences Procedural Act 1960 at 30 applies. It provides that where there is no specific punishment, the offender is liable to a term of imprisonment not exceeding 3 years. Okay, she got 1 year. And there's a whole piece coming from the Honorable Simon Awazi, who is Executive Chairman for the Coalition of Integrity in Governance. And then she goes ahead to say, Kwame, I've traveled twice to Morocco and I was driven the last time from Tangier to Marrakesh. Hey! You did Tangier to Marrakesh? That's like that's like traveling from Accra to Tamale. Kwame, I can attest to how good the roads are, but the human factor, including observation of speed limits, drivers taking compulsory short breaks, is the norm. Even if our roads are not as good as in Morocco, the human factors should be addressed urgently as well. Okay, yes, so I mentioned his name, the Honorable Simon Awadzi. Okay. Please, Kwame. Okay, I'll be playing that video very shortly because we'll be discussing that issue as well. Rich Kito inside Achimota, you say, good morning, name. Please, can they pass a law on this social media thing? Because it is becoming too much. I don't know. Sami Jefi secures win for his conviction of economic fines, whilst Kabila Al Hassan is convicted of is convicted and incarcerated on free speech. You say this is mind-boggling. Okay, Kwame, ask Hajia what is gonki gonki. Okay, Hajia said that earlier on. I remember. She said the road has done gonki gonki. Okay, whatever that means. This one says, Kwame, I'm worried about the people who feel agitated about the woman's sentence. Her statement goes beyond accusing the president of burying cows, but to refer to the president as a pedophile is where I draw the line. Eski, you say so. This one says, Uncle Kwame, good morning to you. And okay, Uncle Kwame, good morning to you, and thanks for the inspiration this morning. I can tell you clearly that 99% of our roads, with respect to the accidents, are caused by drivers. Yes, our roads are having issues, but we that drive are the problem. Drivers, please, let's be careful. Life has no duplicates. Sami sends does one. Let me just do one or two more. I've got too many of them this morning. This one is from Eben. Okay, Prosper, you send this one. You say, Kwame, let the gentleman in the studio talking about defamation and not criminality know what the lady was charged for with respect to offensive conduct and false publication, and not defamation. There's nothing like free speech anywhere in the world. Okay, some of you say that you barely even heard what a woman said. This was on TikTok. I saw this video plus or minus about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and what she has said has ended her in jail. Okay, I've been able to retrieve practically everything that the lady said in about, she spoke for plus or minus about 5 minutes, but she said a lot of the things that she said in Chi. When she's done, we can all draw our conclusions and we'll take the conversations from there. My team will be joining me in the studio again very shortly.
FL.
The thing will not play. Okay. Let me see whether I can get it to play again. Hopefully this one will play. Let me see. It's the same video. Okay, for if I can get it to play, we would move on to that. But the video is there. It's on. You can go on YouTube, TikTok, I think it's on other platforms as well, so that we can situate the context very well. Because there are some who say they didn't even see the video when she said all that she had to say earlier on. So it was just for the sake of those people that maybe we wanted to get that video again. But if for any reason it won't play, then maybe we'd have to go on. But all of us in here at least have seen that video and listened to all that she said. She said some very strong. And Charles, let's try again. Let's try again and see if it will work. Okay. I don't know. I don't know if it's an internet reason, but that video is there on social media. Okay, maybe if it won't play, we'll continue with the discussion like that, because it would have helped with how we would situate this particular conversation. But it doesn't look like we are lucky enough to get it to play concerning whatever Madam Camilla Al Hassan did say. So let me take a few more comments, and then we'll get back to that. This one says, Kwame, good morning. You see, that girl's 1 year is too small for what she said. Hey, you send those one. Okay, everyone has an opinion on these matters. Nati Bongo, you see, this kind of insults of elderly people in our political space was started. Oh, why is the machine playing tricks on me today? Was started in the era. Okay, unfortunately your message wouldn't open. Machine number. So unfortunately your message will not open. But maybe if we're able to sort it out, we'll take it from there. Okay. Okay, Albie, I've read your message. You say that for you it is too small. Okay. The judge in his wisdom decided that she would be punished for a year. So let's leave it there. Let's leave it there with all the considerations that the judge made. Okay, Albie, I've read your message. Nat from Afinia. You say, good morning, Kwame. This kind of insults of elderly people in our political space was started in the era of former President Kufuor. And at that time, you say Rawlings was their target. And this is where we have gotten to as a nation, which is very bad. Okay. Kwame, good morning to you. Do you know that there is more discipline in the French-speaking countries in Africa, more than Ghana? But we say that the gateway to Africa is here. Tony Walanyo, you send this from Lashibi. This one says, good morning, Kwame. I had a very good job transporting explosives to those mining companies with a very juicy salary. I did for only 2 months and stopped just because of that road. I nearly died on the way from Newmont's one day. The government needs to watch that road. Okay, that's our roads there. It's a whole thesis, but we'll talk about that extensively some other time. Good morning, Class FM. Kwame, you asked this morning the meaning of an insult. Okay. If you know God, you will not insult, because per the Bible, we have been created in the image of God. If someone is wrong, you correct the person, and you add that you are not a pastor or a priest. Okay. This one's Uncle Oko, your message will not open. I see that you're asking some questions. Okay, you're asking us to examine that Camila video, Uncle Eko. You say you're asking us to examine that Camila video again. For the purpose of this conversation, we wanted to bring the whole, video back. She spoke for about plus or minus 5 minutes, and then we'll take the conversation from there. I know everybody has an opinion on these matters, so that it wouldn't look like it's just 2 or 3 of us in the studio just, saying a thing or two or discussing a thing or two about what Madame Camila has said. She spoke for herself, and she's responsible for her actions, and she's responsible for her words, and that is why she has found herself in the situation in which she has today. Okay, as we try to sort this out, Amia has joined me in the studio. Doc is here with me. Charles is also here with me as well as we get into these matters. Amia, we started a conversation.
Come from her mouth. I don't know whether because she was just ranting and all that. She didn't mind what she was actually putting out there. But I am just particularly interested in what particular offense that caused the sentence of where she's been sentenced to a year in prison, because these things that have been listed here that she said, according to the lawyer of the girl of Kamina, sorry, the woman, the court actually said that she is being charged on offensive conduct. I stand corrected, but that's what we heard from the lawyer, and that's what has been circulated widely. I've seen the police statement on it, and the police also said that they actually charged the lady for false publication, for publication of false news, and then offensive conduct. But when it went to court, the court didn't dwell on the publication of false news or the abuse of the electronic abuse of aspect of it. It was only the offensive conduct. So that's where I when I look at it and I check the facts, I have quite a problem there, because when you look at offensive conduct, it is a misdemeanor, and a misdemeanor of this sort, and you going to a year in prison is probably my concern. Not to say that what the lady said, is shouldn't be condemned, or not to say that what the lady said, does not call for punishment. But to me, I look at it as killing a mosquito with a sledgehammer, and actually setting a certain precedent that one day, if we do not take care, this thing might degenerate into something that we will not be able to control.
Okay, let's briefly listen to some of the things she herself said, which has landed her in this situation, and then we'll take the conversation from there.
Fighting. What if flight muna why you say? Unkuwa ubaye, circle how many times? Unkuwa ubetina so, circle how many times? Mo siye menchie baku 32 wasasiase. Simply because by hook or crook, esa obedi ade ase edin ketia ye ni pese. Sami Jemfi Sam George di asem no manka. Sa flooding we de ye hu dida. E wo se ye tonsuo pa nsuo to. Awe de broso. Nkuwa obaye amagana bre yamana mosie no doso amagana wadi we chase we dimi ankasa nkuwa obaye yakwaka yesi man ka say we hu uti flight wo yo be man ka say wo fa car nanka wo nanti Ghana asase so nanka obeti pen won say warehouse kura na emefa nsuo fa niam wo warehouse ama so nkofo so gina mu yidi omu pe don komi no ade bi wo papa ye nye nso wo de also be ye what play mu and I will check it 24-hour economy man we check it 24-hour market I will be mamba omu kofi omu be bonti no ma ko jare because omu ko du fia omu kunu nu be ka so omu jare omu hu bon wo ye ma mic pe na be nonsense so be koto da ba na be started with central region obi a be started to obi a central region kan ko pe be bitna to be na we ko you see to kan ko da no di na nche nkransa Beyonce ni nche na nipa ndwene no so wuti ha woso mfa ma your friend say hwan from omu nye adwuma no wo be man krofo fofo mfa ma assembly mfa ma sanitation bio anya wa sanitation for disika yakodi loan na breast sanitation for mfa nya hwe na wo ba je fi sanitation for na wo je ye no anya wa sako hwe no sako shi ta nso tonso na baby shi hey who ya dio nkwa ho ba eja hihie hey Mr. Pad unya ba perfect intro esa wo pad sanya wide wo Mr. Pad na be ye bibia ma ntu tukwaso no wakisi nwe wo chire bia nkasa se wasa akoto alumi ababi na du train na akoto ye no ni de okofa ba ye the same thing wasa akoto.
Okay, so she said so much in that video. She moved from one subject to the other, one subject to the other. But the beginning is what got the attention of people when she made mention of those 32 cows killed for rituals and all of those other things. Yeah, are you on the floor?
Yeah, so what I was saying is,
Of course, all the things that she said are very despicable. I do not subscribe to it. I wouldn't, encourage it in any way. I mean, why would you, in the first place, even insult the president, someone who is really accomplished a lot in life? I mean, it is very, very, very bad and in poor taste. And I subscribe whatever punishment that has been meted out, with the exception of sentencing her to 1 year imprisonment. That's where I draw the line. Not to say that any other punishment could not have been meted out to her, because I'm looking at the precedent. When I read what the judge, what according to the stories that have come up, and then what the lawyer of the woman said, the judge struck out the I stand corrected, the publication of false news, which is much more criminal, and you could be sentenced to, actually could be fined or sentenced to up to 5 years in prison. But offensive conduct, when I read about it, it is a misdemeanor, and with what I read here, it has to take a lot for such a conduct to say that you are going to sentence that person to prison. I don't think this is a very good precedent. That's to me, I don't think so. If we were to talk about the criminal aspect of what the lady said, then I would go into that, because she made a lot of allegations here that, of course, were in bad taste. But let's look at this in a different light, or a different way. If we keep doing this, and it sounds like we are oppressing free speech, which, of course, this is an insult. It's, like I said, it's defamation and all these things. But in a way, it looks like we are oppressing free speech.
What is free about this speech?
That's what I'm saying. We have chosen to subscribe to democracy.
So you're allowed to say whatever you want?
Not whatever you want, but if it is, I've insulted you, Kwame, it is your case. It is between me and you. What has that got to do with?
Is it not to do with what you see?
What I say?
What you said?
Yes.
That would constitute what may be seen as an insult.
So I said
something defamatory and beyond.
So I said, Kwame, you have buried 32. You have sacrificed 32 cows. What has the police got to do with that? What has the police? Is it not
Are you suggesting that it's because of who is involved?
Exactly.
But because if, for example, if it was me,
if I say
then nobody
Charles,
cares.
Yeah. If I say to Charles that Charles has buried 32 cows, isn't not the responsibility of Charles to send me to court and then we talk about it? What has the police got to do with it that the police will come and arrest me?
That's what I'm saying. Are you suggesting this is happening because it is the president that is involved?
Yes. And also, you see, I think the police went in for the the publication of false news, which falls under the Cybersecurity Act and then the Criminal Offences Act. But I'm saying that when it went to court, now the judge says, I've struck this out. I'm dealing with the offensive conduct. If we are dealing with the offensive conduct, which is a misdemeanor, then we are, walking into the defamation, web. So if that is so, then it is between me and this individual. That is what I think. Yes, the insult was not good. That borders on morality and all that. You can say she does not respect. She's a despicable human being to have said those things against the president and all that. But we are in this country where many people have said a lot of things which are also very, very despicable. And because, quote, unquote, they are, people of high profile, status, we just let it slide. This 32 cows that she mentioned, a pastor said it, and that pastor is walking free.
The video is still there.
The video is still there.
I've seen that video too.
Yeah, the video came before the lady made these allegations and included the 32 cows. And this pastor was insisting, and even mentioned the national chairman of the National Democratic Congress, and said that this and that I did it on his behalf, and he said that the national chairman actually knows about it, which of course I don't have any proof to it. But why is the pastor walking free and the lady is in prison?
Maybe that case has not ended up in front of a judge.
So I'm alerting them, they should go and pick the pastor up. Yeah, because if you're going to deal with this, you see, one thing about Ghana is we politicize everything. Let us not politicize it. Let us look at the issue at hand. Years ago, in 2022, I read what the president wrote. A lot of things were said about the previous administration, the former president. of course, the former president also, I mean, these similar things happened where the police went to pick some people up and put them in prison and all that. And the police, the president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, who was in opposition then, released a statement and said that it is an oppression of free speech and the people should be allowed to talk. Why should you, send them to cell, even though they had not even been in prison, they have not even been sentenced. And the president had an issue with the fact that they had been arrested for just making, giving a free speech.
I mean, in all this, where do we draw the line?
Where we draw the line is, for me, let's start, if you are going to do this, then let's start punishing the leaders as well who are making, because these
So we go
people
back to all the videos of the past.
Yeah, we have to punish everyone. Why do you select some people and then you punish others and you don't punish others? Let's punish everyone. Even if you're a minister and you say certain things. We were here and some ministers made some comments in the past. If you say, and even now, the opposition party, they're also saying some things against some people in government, which all borders on these things. So if the people are, you see, these TikTokers have been empowered because of the things they have heard their leaders say. So if we are not taking their leaders on and we are extending it to them, then we will get nowhere. The leaders are the ones who are, encouraging these things. They go about and making allegations, what allegations and all that. They will come and say, the governor of Ghana, the Bank of Ghana has done this, said this, that, and no proof. And then a TikToker, because, of course, she's pissed off. She says a lot of things which she doesn't have proof to. When she went to court, she pleaded guilty to it. And I think she pleaded guilty because they wanted a lighter sentence. Which, of course, you can also say that the lighter sentence is the 1 year in prison. But I'm saying, is it the way to go? For me, I would have loved that you give the lady a fine or imprisonment. So if...
Or elsewhere, they call it a suspended sentence.
Exactly.
Next time when you do this again,
or sign a bond of good conduct. Especially when, I don't know if... When you read, I've read extensively about this. When she's a first offender, she's not like a notorious offender where you keep... She's a first offender. So she could have signed a bond of good conduct, or a huge fine where maybe she has to go and sell some things, and it will serve as punishment.
Give Dennis Miracles Abuaji bail condition.
Exactly. Give her something.
No. That's just an aside.
But you see, it is you sending a word across that we do not like this. So if you give her the fine, which is very huge and all that, and she has to go through something.
I think a message came, Kwame. You read a message where someone said that there should be a bill that people, especially for something like this that we've seen, how people are abusing the internet and putting out offensive words against people in government or, like you mentioned, high-ranking people. If we know that there's a law that says that if you say these things or say words like this that Camille has mentioned, these are the things you're going to face. If the law is established, whether it falls under it or not, or everything that you say, and we take you to court, or you're being arrested and we scrutinize and realize that all the things that you said, per the law that we currently have, these are the charges against you. You're going to be in jail for this. Already, we said our prisons are choked, and we are putting people there. So the community service bill has been passed.
Yeah, I was just about touching that.
If we have people like this making out utterances such as these, we put you out in the community. We need our city to be clean.
Clean the gutters.
Exactly, Kwame. Exactly.
Kwame, so...
There is in the community. Yeah, no, we'll not feed you.
No, like this one, we are going to be feeding her for the 9 months she's going to be there. But if we give her the gutter from Accra to Odoko,
it should
something
be.
like
It should
that.
even be in your community.
Because Kwame, I'm looking at.
She's not bad.
You see, whether we like it or not, this government can be in power for 100 years. There will be a change of government someday. I'm looking at someone also saying something which, because now free speech is, how do you even determine that this one is of this magnitude?
So let's do a bit of
I've seen
let's do a bit of education here.
I mean, I've seen people are even sending me what's the name of the guy in the United States? Taylor.
So,
People are sending me
yeah,
Taylor's
yeah,
videos.
yeah.
The videos on what I want to me
Kevin
said ahead of
Taylor,
the election
yeah.
about President Mahama.
Exactly.
You see that video sleeping with her maid or something like that.
Yeah.
All those videos are there. Nothing happened to all of these
Nothing
people.
happened to Chairman when he was saying that. Nothing has happened to KT. KT came to Ghana here twice. The first time he came,
he was even given presidential escort.
and even the court acquitted him when he
for
was
all the
sent
things
to-
that he has said.
For all the things he
How?
and this guy has not even said, not even
2%.
to the things that KT has said.
Kwame, listen. The point is that people tend to abuse social media. Those days where social media wasn't a thing, where we only had
We're
the
living
traditional
our lives, so.
yes, where we
And
had
Zita
just
and people brought
just
social
the
media.
traditional media.
We're living our lives
You're
quietly.
thinking I'm a Gen Z, but I'm not.
Where what we knew was a traditional media, where whatever you see on any platform, you can't just say and go. The media house would have even issued a disclaimer ahead of time.
Right there.
Yes. So you don't just say anything and go scot-free. Because definitely if you say certain things on a media platform and there's no disclaimer to that effect, chances are that you'll be picked up by authorities. So professionalism was a thing. Here we are in this era of social media where everybody calls himself a journalist, to the extent that bloggers are calling themselves journalists.
They are doing the work you're doing.
Where, so yes, and so bloggers are calling themselves journalists in this country. They have taken over the space. They seem to be credible than the professional ones, quote unquote. They seem to be credible because once you have a good camera, once you have a means of transport, you are mobile, you can go anywhere and get the stories. And the difference in what the bloggers do as opposed to what the professional ones do, the trained journalists do, is the fact that the blogger with his phone or her phone can just go and take the video, whether verified or not, comes to post it, and that's it. And that's what people tend to feed on. We are in an era where it is about sensationalism, the era of yellow journalism. You recall, Kwame, you are a lecturer. So the era of yellow journalism is back. I recall the days of a certain newspaper which will publish a lot of falsehood. You check the front page and it catches your attention. And with your last 10,000, those days 10,000, you'll still buy the newspaper and go and read it. That era seemed to have come back, but in a more modern, contemporary way. And that is what we see as social media. So everybody tends to think that, well, once I have the power of social media, I can go on any platform and then say whatever I want. Of course, we are living in a democratic dispensation, and whatever anybody says, you are entitled to it. It is a free, the Constitution allows for free speech, but it doesn't also mean that free speech is totally free in its sense or in the sense of the word. That you can say whatever you want. I can say whatever I want against Ameyao, and then I will go. Nothing would happen. Then it means that you are living in a lawless state. But I think the big deal with this very issue has got to do with the fact that we're talking about the president. And in this case, I would say that let's set the president aside. So I'm hearing that it was the police that picked her up. Yeah. One of the things that I'm also hearing is that when the police initially invited her, they sent her a message that she should report herself to the police station. And she refused to do so. And then she went into hiding and came back on social media and said that, well, they sent me a message that I should come, but I've gone into hiding. If the police is able to pick me where I am, then, so you were calling the bluff of the police. You were so emboldened. And
she was picked.
Yes, and she was picked. You've been picked by the police to face the full rigors of the law. So
and
here
she
we are.
pled guilty in court.
Yes. Kwame, the entire argument we are having very much sits with the Criminal Offences Act, isn't it? So maybe a bit of education here and there, Kwame. So Section 208 of the Criminal Offences Act, 1960, Act 29, which talks about publication of false news. And it says that it's an offense for a person to publish or reproduce a statement, rumor, or report that is one, likely to cause fear and alarm to the public or disturb the public peace. 2, the publisher knows or has reason to believe the statement is false. So in this case, we're talking about Camilla as a publisher. So once you admit in court that you are guilty, it means that you know or you have reason to believe the statement you published is false. Now, this offense is classified as a misdemeanor, which can attract a fine, imprisonment, or both, depending on the circumstances and the court case. So it can attract a fine, imprisonment, or both. Now, we say that the law lies in the bosom of the judge, isn't it? It goes to court with all the charges preferred against her by the police service or the prosecution team. The judge interprets it, looks at it on the surface of things and says that, well, I have chosen an imprisonment. And Doc tells me that you could go into prison for in such cases, you could go into prison for some 5 years.
3 years.
I mean, 3 years.
That's
yes.
what I'm reading.
And so the judge has decided that he will go for the minimum, a year.
Section 207 of the Criminal Offences Act 1960 at 29 creates the offence of offensive conduct conducive to breaches of peace. Although the section classifies the offence as a misdemeanor, it does not prescribe a specific punishment.
Exactly.
I'm sure that's what you're referring to.
Yes.
And the offender is liable to a term of imprisonment not exceeding 3 years.
Exactly.
So it could have been 3.
Yes, it could have been 3. So it means that the judge has, rather gone for the minimum. You get it? So I hear the cry from legal experts and what have you saying that this is a misdemeanor, it's not jailable. I'm not a lawyer, but I'm also asking myself.
It would have been argued out in the courts, I guess.
The fact that it's a misdemeanor that doesn't necessarily mean you can't go to jail.
But what we are missing here is that when it went to court, the judge convicted the lady on the account of offensive conduct, not the publication of false. What you are reading it regards the publication of false news. That is when you can go to jail up to 3 years. But the count on which this lady is going to jail is for offensive conduct.
That's vague. That's vague. You can't convict someone on an offensive conduct. I mean, I'm just deducing from what you are saying. To say that offensive conduct. If I insult you, it's an offensive conduct. It depends on how the judge interprets it. So, for instance, I report you, the police comes to pick you up.
Okay, so if I can look at it this way, I want to read something so that, Charles, maybe you can tie it to that before we wrap it all up. Rich Kito sends me something. He says, Kwame, everybody with his or her head, it looks like it was... okay, if I understand what you've said, pretty much the decision of the judge.
The law lies in the bosom of the judge.
The judge, based on
the evidences adduced,
based on what was said in court, based on what was
and the charges brought
courts,
against,
then the judge took a decision.
Simpliciter.
Pretty much. It looks like that's what happened.
So the point I'm trying to make here is that, look, people have, if you go onto social media, and I've read a lot from lawyers who are saying that, oh, it's a misdemeanor, it's not jailable, it's a misdemeanor. But here we are reading from the Criminal Offences Act, which says that it can be a fine, or there can be a fine or imprisonment of not less than how many years?
Not more than 3 years.
Not more than 3 years.
And this one is 1.
And this is 1 year. So where lies the argument? I am only concerned, and in the letter to the president that you played early on, I'm only concerned about the international spectacle it creates for Ghana. I read an article ostensibly from someone in Sierra Leone who also posted this same thing and said that the Ghana that we are all hailing for their democratic credentials, look at what is happening in the country. And you see, that news, that information would fester. It would transcend borders, and then it would create a certain impression for government or for Ghana. People are not interested in going to read what the law says or whatsoever. So I was having a discussion before even coming into studios with Amayao that, yes, I get it. The lady, what she did is condemnable. The fact that you had the power of social media doesn't guarantee or doesn't give you that liberty to say whatever you want and just think that you go scot-free. Kwame, we are just bitter as political animals. Let me explain that. My government is thrown out of power. A certain government comes in. And you listen to the kind of commentaries that people make on social media, and there is no evidence. For instance, this very situation or this very case, there is no evidence to support whatever claims they make.
Have they ever provided
any
evidence?
They make bitter sentiments. They make bitter sentiments. And you see, they allow those bitter sentiments to get in their way. And it clouds their sense of thinking that what I'm doing Do I know that it has far-reaching consequences?
They don't care.
Does this sit in tandem, paripaso, going back to your word,
They don't care.
with what the law says? We don't care about that. We tend to be clouded by our political leanings and the fact that we are bitter that our government has been thrown into a position. Let me go all out and do something against this government. But listen, you have your life as an individual to protect first.
Okay.
Before the political party. Kwame, there is no fast rule to this. At the end of the day, the judge has made a judgment or has delivered or handed down his judgment. Whatever interpretation we put to this, I think that there is definitely a time where we'd have to say no to certain things. We are not saying that we are gagging free speech. You have the right to say whatever you want to say. But you should know that it must sit in tandem with what the law says. Some people have said that, well, it's defamatory, yes, and defamation you could just be fined and then we move on. Yes, all of those issues are at play. They're on the table at this point in time. But I'm just concerned about those making the argument that it's a misdemeanor, it's not jailable. It doesn't mean that the fact that it's a misdemeanor doesn't mean it's not jailable. Okay. And to Mr. President,
let's move on
yes,
to our final.
Mr. President should be concerned about the spectacle it creates for us on the international level. So perhaps could the president have gone ahead of this before even the lady was even sent to court? You know, there's a way the president does some of these things. Could the president have gone ahead of this to say that, well, you know, the police, you have an issue there, but I think on this one, you know, so that backdoor negotiations would have happened. So we don't have all of these things happening. Maybe.
So what do you want the president to do?
Now he's been jailed. Now she's been jailed.
You know,
she's been jailed.
I'm a Christian.
Oh, this has got nothing to do with Christianity.
Also say what they want.
Let us not sentence her to 1 year, but you can give her a fine of like 1 million cedis and all that. Why? You don't like the fine? No, the thing is, the lady will not go unpunished. The lady will go. She cannot go unpunished. For what she has done there, it calls for punishment. But there's a twist to this. They are going to. The police are going to sue.
The punishment is to go to jail.
This is the first charge. But the police are pursuing another case against the lady now.
Again.
Yeah. They say that they are taking steps to put the lady before the High Court on a separate charge of forced communication. That's when you come in. Forced communication under the Electronic Communications Act 2008. So now that's why I was saying
but the earlier argument was struck out.
Yeah, the judge struck out the forced communication. So now I think they are going to pursue the other part of it, which of course then I will agree with you on that aspect.
It's
we are not lawyers yet.
The judgment has
to
move.
Well, whatever you say is immaterial at this point in time.
If it was sentencing, then maybe some of these conversations can even sway the judge because they also listen to me. But now, I catch it.
Oh, they said you're better.
Now they are catching.
But it should send
Uncle Eko says, I heard you discussing a court verdict on the Camilla case. You have a right to do so, but I respectfully recommend that you examine the Camilla video critically. We've played it here and draw a fair conclusion if you honestly don't object to the contents and whether or not a sitting head of state must be addressed that way, even if he's Satan himself. Yeah, that's what we did, Uncle Eko. I've always believed in your objectivity to promote freedom of speech, but we cannot allow this. Okay, Uncle Eko, I get it. Thank you very much. Arnold from Musu says, "Hello, Kwame and your team. In the Bible, Matthew 12:36. This I will read for us. Jesus said explicitly, every idle or careless words that people speak, we will give account on it on the judgment day. And here on earth, there is judgments on everything we do or say, for its punishment or praise." Okay, I think I get the context. Kwame, why is it that the law is in simple English, but it confuses everybody?
And it lies in the bosom of the judge, ultimately. Yeah. So
see,
whatever
everyone
we say
has his or her own opinion on these issues. Okay, I get it. Kwame, good morning. To me, the judge is an assembly of God. Oh, yeah, Masaja.
Church member.
What does that mean?
Which church is this one?
Kwame, to me, the judge is an Assemblies of God member. That's why he or she was so lenient. So you would have even wanted more. Yes, this one I accept it. He's a church member.
Wow.
Yeah, that's why
when it's good, you accept it.
Kwame, from the Camilla case, Is it that bloggers and other content creators, okay, you say they should be careful
Yeah,
whose
it's
agenda
true.
they
I
are
agree.
serving, because they
I agree.
alone will face the music when the time comes. That I said it this morning. Now she's going alone. All the people who are encouraging her, they are sleeping and eating gobe.
Charlie Kwame, blogging has come to muddy the waters. So
Fast. But I kept
the excesses.
I've kept Zita here for a reason.
Yeah, what he's saying about, I think a lot of people are complaining about bloggers taking over the traditional media and
that one, there's nothing we can do about it.
See, Kwame, we can do something about it.
What can you do? If they are doing the right things.
No, you see, before we ended up in this studio, I'm sure that we went through a process. And we went through.
Kwame lectured us.
Exactly.
Theoretically, practically.
There are documents to show that okay, he schooled in GIJ, I schooled in AUCC. There are.
So we go about doing it the right way.
Professional.
Okay, so this is the thing.
But what's the right way?
Is it possible to stop the blogger to do what he or she is doing, as long as he's going about his work the right way? The only difference between you and that's what I'm saying. There are. As long as you can get a phone and you can get money to buy a mic, you can start it if you want.
So
but the question we need to ask ourselves is the kind of information they are putting out on a daily or on a minute basis.
Kwame,
where is the fact checking? Where is the verification? Who is ensuring that they are doing the right thing?
Kwame, let me ask you a simple question.
I'm sure we've seen videos where I think there was a 1 week funeral that was held at the State House. Was it this actress? Her name, I've forgotten. The latest one that just died. Beverly.
Yeah.
And we saw bloggers when people were wailing and crying
and they put the camera on your face.
Exactly, and you have people saying that, and journalists, these are all the things that you. But if you go deep down,
these are not journalists. They are bloggers.
And some even go to the extent of
let me
the cops.
They are content creators.
Let me tell you the difference. So Kwame,
let me add this one. And some are also only broadcasters.
Yeah,
they are not journalists.
The fact that you are broadcasting doesn't mean
in the local language space everybody sees
a broadcaster is a journalist.
But not every broadcaster
is a journalist.
That's
true. The difference is clear. And Kwame, so journalism.
Know that difference.
Yes, journalism. It's a profession, isn't it?
Yes.
How about blogging?
It's a profession.
Is it?
It's a profession.
Blogging is not.
It's a profession.
Blogging is not.
These days,
you see, a profession.
A profession.
A profession.
Some of them to you go work on. Let's say for instance, you school DIJ, go all through all the process,
and then you become a blogger.
You apply and you're not being picked.
You see,
you tell yourself to be a blogger.
Yeah, blogger.
That is also a factor.
You have your phone.
That is also a factor.
You have your phone. You have microphone.
But you see.
But
you see,
that young man who wanted a job at a radio station and didn't get, a TV station didn't get, probably tried a newspaper didn't get or a website didn't get. They've also started their own.
Yeah, you only have a phone.
And in this age, and of monetization, where you monetize your platform, it's about money,
and you can even make more money.
Than what the traditional media will pay you.
But what your boss will pay you in the traditional media.
Even as we talk about these things, it's serious. It's serious. You see, I say journalism, of course, we all agree, it's a profession. And blogging is not a profession. Even though we have a lot of blogging something bloggers association and all of that coming up. Kwame. Oh, but I'm sure there's you see, you see the way you say you're asking, hey, Omati association. You don't even know they exist.
But he's trained himself to be a blogger.
Yes, but he is a trained journalist and he's the president of the association. So he is supposed to do
all these things.
The element
of verification is lost when it comes to blogging.
You don't want us to talk about
issues. It is not professional.
Why we have kept Zita here? You don't want us to talk about it.
Kwame, laugh can wait. Laugh can wait.
Because now my time is almost
yeah, we can touch on it briefly.
People are interested in this matter too, but they're sending plenty messages.
Which one? The blogger?
No, the last we are discussing about Camille, of course. Okay, so now you see someone is also asking a question. So who is a radio presenter?
Who is a radio presenter?
Okay.
Let's explain. Kwame, let's deal with this issue. Let's deal with this issue. Let's do it.
See,
Kwame,
I think people do not know the difference in maybe producing, presenting, a news anchor, and a journalist, like we have said, broadcaster. People do not know like the differences.
For many, we are all journalists.
For me, yes. Even if it is a drive time host,
it's a journalist.
A mid morning, or say a journalist, because the person is sitting in the radio
and broadcasting information.
Exactly.
Or some training.
But there are differences. They tell us who the differences. Presenter.
That's with you who has a training of sitting in the classroom and getting a lecture from someone. But to the everyday person who is consuming the content, all of us are journalists.
We are not all.
A journalist is in a profession, first of all, of churning out verified information. And
it's one of our tenets.
And yes.
So the ethics of the job.
So the information
you have to verify the information before you
put
it out there. But how many are doing that today?
Yes. Eboafo tells me that you need to verify. My broadcast journalism lecturer, Eboafo, right? Yeah. You need to verify again, and verify again.
Which is the basic training you and I would get.
Exactly.
But what about all the others in our space now?
So that's what I'm saying. The others are not they are not within the profession journalism. So the others are there. They are not professions. They are there. They've come up because there's something called social media and the fact that, well, I'm not getting a job to do.
And
so I can
the talent of speaking.
Yes, and that's all. And so you see, they don't have the basic training in journalism.
No.
You get it? A presenter, you see, you can qualify all of us as people who churn out information. A journalist is distinct from a presenter because a journalist is in the process of churning out news that matter. So it can be news in any form, politics, business, and what have you. Okay,
can a journalist be a presenter?
Yeah. Can a journalist
Can a journalist be a presenter?
Oh yes, I'm a journalist. I'm at the same time a presenter. A journalist.
That's the clarity I want.
Actually, it should have been the way.
The presenter may not necessarily be a journalist.
Yeah.
Actually, it should have.
Because you may be good enough, you can read, you can speak well, and all of that. We can put you on the platform, but you may not know the tenets of the profession.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I was going back to the GBC standard, where before you come on air,
and GBC,
they would have given you a training from within.
Yes.
Before you are put on air.
These days,
we don't do that. We don't
do
that. These days we have, excuse me to say, we have actors, actresses. Then we just put because
that is also
just
there.
Put them up, and they are some of them.
So those are the presenters. They are
those
not
are the presenters.
You know what we dwell on now?
Somebody who can speak well.
You know what we dwell on?
But ideally, before you bring the person up, because
some basics.
You should get the person through the basics and all that, so that the person knows. How can you sit on air and certain things have been said, and you as the presenter, you don't even know what you're doing.
Then that's the challenge we face today. And you see, that has found its way into the content creating platform. They get the fact that we are in a saturated market. They are trying to compete and get attention and make some money. So in their minds, whatever you are doing on your radio station, me too, I'm doing some here. Whatever you're doing on your TV station, me too, I'm doing some here. In fact, I'm doing it in such a way where I'm getting numbers and I'm making more money than you.
It's about
so
it.
In
it's
their
about
mind,
the numbers
they
and
are
the money.
even doing the right thing.
Yeah.
As long as they are making the money, even if they are saying a lot of rubbish.
Yeah.
They are making 10 times what you get as a salary.
And
so in their mind, they are doing the right thing.
You know that the politicians,
the likes
the politicians patronize the bloggers.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
They like the bloggers more than the professionals.
You go for programs and there's somebody holding a phone and following.
Oh, we have one assigned to.
At the end of the program, then they say the bloggers. This way,
traditional media that way.
Really?
That's why it's got into.
Okay, they got So I don't want to say something.
No. Say it. You say it.
Don't mention the person involved.
I'm not mentioning anybody, but it's a place. If I mention the place, you will know the place. So I don't want to mention the place.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, they're like. You can see clearly that these people, you see, for every...
And even the bloggers, I'm not cutting, let me give you an information. The bloggers, we have levels.
Advanced bloggers. Somebody has sent me a message. Advanced bloggers.
So I think for what I have observed in ministries, you know that... okay, Kwame works with TV3, this person works with GH1, this person works with Class FM, this person with Joy. So you see, because of their brand logo on them or their a thing to show.
The bloggers, they are personal brands.
You can't see anything. So you are consistently, we go, I see all 5 of us the same time. But then this time around, there's another face, and you're asking, where will free him? Where's this person? I say, will be a blogger. He was invited by the person who is organizing the program, and then you're like, okay.
Come and tell my
Before
story.
you realize, they are even more than the journalists who are. Supposed
Let me
to
tell you
cover.
about an experience just a fortnight ago. So I went to coordinate media activities for this group that was launched in Ghana. And so they gave me the list. They gave me the budget that they were working with. And you know, the Solly is a regular thing.
See it with confidence.
Solly. Kwame. So I took the list. And the traditional media, 100 Ghana, 200 Ghana. And the bloggers were taking 5,000, minimum 3,000. 5,000, minimum 3,000. So those who are deemed to be the advanced bloggers, just
with
in
a
the
lot
words,
of flowing.
they were taking the 5,000. And if I'm talking about the advanced bloggers, your guess is as good as mine.
The
Those we
senior
know.
bloggers.
Those we know.
The senior
Those we know.
The senior bloggers.
They were taking 5,000. So then I made a mistake. And one of the traditional media guys saw the list. I had to fold it back. Like, hey, now I'm on my 100 CDs, and I'm on my way 3,000, almost 5,000 and stuff. I'm like, well, that's not me. It's been decided from somewhere. We are putting a lot of credibility on the blogging work and the traditional media. And
what the bloggers do is that they put you in the spotlight. So they have a very large following. They are giving you, they are giving their audience real-time stuff. Like an event is happening now.
It's real time.
Live. Compared to you are now going to cut edits.
And then come and
no, but Kwame, we also the traditional media also does real time stuff.
For example,
they don't normally edit. Okay,
you may pick one angle.
No, in most cases,
the blogger is doing real life stuff and providing a lot of information.
So let me share a secret with you. I am a trained journalist. I'm professional. We went at a point in time. I also turned into a blogger a little bit. I was doing blogging on the side.
You're doing Kokonsa.
Yeah. So I had my name out there. And then I will move with Kokonsa Dems. When you go, that's why I'm saying you don't edit. As it is going on, you just shoot it. The editing part is just maybe you want to cut maybe 2 minutes out of what is
or a minute.
And then you post it. As to what is, you see some bloggers even go to the extent that maybe the ministers are sharing very confidential messages. They are discussing something, and the phone,
the camera is just there like
and
that.
they will put everything out there.
Yeah.
Not even thinking about what they are discussing in the video.
Okay.
I have
take some
stood,
messages and wrap up.
Before you read the message, I've stood next to a blogger who received a call, Kwame. We've had instances where people are launching a program or doing donations, and then they invite media houses. Last 1 hour, not less than 500 cedis for your transportation, for say maybe
no more than
your tea, and no more than 500 cedis. So he was talking, and then he had other people working for him. So he was like, okay, how much did they say they're charging? He said 3,000. Oh, 3,000 they endorse. I don't think we can do this.
Yeah.
Upon a second thoughts, okay, let's go. This is somebody negotiating with
blogging has become so lucrative, but it needs to be checked.
I want to put a story out
especially
there.
the
Who
excesses.
is checking what the blogger is posting?
Nobody's checking.
Nobody.
That's what I'm saying. It's not a profession.
Okay,
Now
so
you
I have
understand.
another question for you quickly. Kwame, please, I want to. Okay, so we've answered the first one. You say, so is Manasseh Azuri? You've even gone ahead to add proper. Why? You say, so
No, Manasseh is a trained journalist. We school together.
Yeah,
he's a trained journalist, and
okay, so you have your
his
answer.
works from school days are all there.
Okay, Uncle Ekwa comes back again to say Ghana must not be allowed to degenerate into a country that has no morals and social values. Anyone who thinks that the Kamela judge was wrong has a right to appeal. Political insults on social media thrives because of political aspirants. Okay. Good morning, Kwame. I sent you a message on the 2nd of July concerning a wall that is flooding in my area. You say kindly use your medium to get the Honorable MCE to attend to this at Teshi. Teshi Lejokuku.
Which part?
Okay. Isaac, if you can give us an exact location, that would help us. Please, good morning. Please wish my wife a happy birthday on your station tomorrow. But you don't add your name. So how do I do it? Add your name, add your name. Kwame, now they have advanced bloggers. They call them content creators. Albie says, Kwame, her comments are treasonable. She should have gotten about 15 years. Okay, so Isaac comes back again to say Teshi Bush Road. Teshi Bush Road area. Okay, Teshi Bush Road area. You say there's a wall there. Yeah, he sent a message, so we have his contacts. We'll get back to him and take the conversations from there.